everyone.
Are we here? Can anybody see us? There's Johnny Future. There's Brandon Kentucky, Jughead. Robert's just a fan.
There.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Did I mess something up?
Yeah.
Yeah, figures. And someone else was there. I couldn't see their thing.
Hi, Steve.
Steve Goldman.
Johnny. Brandon. Jughead from Boston.
There's one more I can't see because it's covered.
Your cousin from Boston. You know that commercial? It's a beer commercial.
From Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, the Exotic Car Facts.
Oh, yeah,
official channel.
The Exotic
I see
Cars.
that one. Yes, we could see you. Oh, beautiful LPH. Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. I agree wholeheartedly.
And then there's, well, David.
Thanks. Well, I'll just fade away into nothing. I'll just melt away under the desk here.
YouTube is telling me that we're live.
Oh, that's nice of YouTube to let us know that.
Yeah, give me a notification.
There's Punisher X.
Punisher X. Hello.
Love your channel. Never miss a
Stone
show.
Sour.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah. I hope y'all had a good week.
Yeah.
A pleasant week that's been, not too eventful as far as like horrible things happening. Yeah, stress.
We can all do without the stress.
I know. Everyday life stresses.
It was Johnny trying to fix it. It's too late, Johnny. It's too late, man.
Yeah. Once you put it out in the atmosphere, it's out there. No bringing it back. Once those words have been released, it's released.
I'm just messing with you.
Donald is here.
Hello,
Chaotic
Donald.
Doom is here from
All
Australia.
the way from Sydney, Australia. I was in Kensington.
Oh yeah, David's been.
Kensington, New South Wales.
I wanted to go to Australia because I used to listen to the band Hillsong. They don't listen. I don't listen to them anymore,
No,
but they're in New York now.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go to
when they started making money, they ended up all over the place.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So, as we get going
Scotland. That's a pretty area. I've been in the airport in Ireland, and it was so green. I've never seen green like that. It's just so how vibrant it was. I've never been to Scotland though, but the pictures I've seen is beautiful.
Johnny says he saw the last Godzilla film 5 times.
Ooh, he ordered it
in the theater.
Oh, the Godzilla versus
Kong.
Yeah. We saw that. It actually wasn't bad.
And that's like what that was like the 4th in the new series. Yeah. I think. And this JG, how are we doing today? We're doing fine. We're hanging in there.
Good.
I had a late night.
Yeah.
I was in a super chat on Facebook on the Meagle Like page, being hosted by Lou.
Yeah, he was on that. Tell us how it was. Tell everybody. Maybe they can go to Facebook. Is it still on Facebook?
Yeah, it should still be there on the Meagle Like.
Oh.
Because it ran really long. Steve Goldman, who won in the movie? Come on. He's looking for a spoiler alert. There's Nerds World NYC.
Robert asking how is our movie day? Well, today is actually not our movie day. It's Sunday.
Modern Shows Day.
Yeah, modern / streaming show day. And now we have to watch our shows earlier so that we can get them all in before the live stream. So we start watching the TV shows. Well, we're down to only 3 shows now. So we start about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Make sure we get them all in because Dallas got taken off. But I'm not going to go down that road again.
Go down that road again.
But we're on 3 shows now. So we started earlier so we can, still get it in and get here on time.
Yeah. And Steve, you know who won. Anyway, JG, what is Super Chat? Basically, instead of like right now, you're watching just the 2 of us sitting here, it's multiple platforms. And they actually had 7 different screens with somebody who's like a big toy collector on each screen. And, you know, we could see the comments, and we were talking amongst ourselves, and the people who were watching were chiming in. So it's just like what you're looking at now, but it would be little boxes, and each box would be a different group of people.
Yeah, I wonder how you do that, because I see people on YouTube do that, and I always think it's cool. I don't know how though, but I think that would be cool to do.
Yeah.
So you can interview people, or just have people come on and chat with you.
The guy who hosted it, he had to buy that service though, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
so you got to pay for that.
Oh, Robert is saying something.
Yeah, he's asking about the reaction figures. What are you thinking, the Joe stuff? I'm thinking maybe that reaction figures might jump on my stuff, mainly 1/6 some NECA.
You talking about the Super 7 reaction figures, and also the Joe figures, I think.
I'm not a fan of the reaction figures, but I can't fault them on their card art. Their card art is excellent on all of the reaction figures, but the figures themselves I don't really care for. And the other one, what do they call them again? The 7-inch ones, yeah, the ultimates. I like them, but I don't know if I want to jump on that, because again, that's another rabbit hole. They're already making currently what, 4 different versions of GI Joe figures: the classifieds, the retro, the 3.0, and now this.
Yeah.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's enough. I mean,
hold on, because it was
Johnny, love the Rogers trolley video. You're going to get the other finger puppets if they ever become available. That I was not kidding. You might not see another trolley in the box with the figures for 10 years. It's the ideal Mr. Rogers stuff is stupid rare. It makes no sense. Well, actually, it does. They only made it for 1 year, and kids actually played with the stuff.
Yeah.
I've never ever seen a complete Neighborhood of Make Believe set from Ideal. A piece of this, a piece of that, and you know, it would, for me to even piecemeal it together, would probably take like a decade. But yeah, I mean, eventually I'd like to get it.
Chaotic Doom said he started watching The Witcher, only 2 episodes in, and started watching Z Nation, but gave up on it. I found some of the characters. Okay, yeah, we watched The Witcher only once when we
first season.
Yeah, when we were able to watch it, only 1 season was available. We were watching Z Nation like some years ago when it came out.
Yeah.
And it was okay at first, but it kept getting dumber and dumber along the way, and I just couldn't take it no more. We got up to the part where they made it to the nuclear when the one guy who was like a half zombie, he got another lady pregnant and all of that. We got that far, and then it was like, okay, this is just too much.
Stone Sour wants to know if I'm getting the HasLab Galactus. I'm on the fence. I got a lot of stuff lined up on the fence, like bottles.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter if I try to shoot them down or not, because I don't know. I mean, I like it, and I do collect the Build-A-Figures, not the regular figures, but they do collect the Build-A-Figures. And Donald Layton, have you guys ever heard of a toy company by the name of Crow Toys? They have 3 very cool Samurai Beetles for sale on BBTS. I'm hesitant because of the price and lack of knowledge about the company. I think we showcased those. Yeah, they're like 1/12 scale action figures that are like half man, half insect, and it's like a Japanese theme. Is that the one? I remember seeing those, and we showcased them like some months ago, but I don't know anything about the company either.
Yeah. Fandom Saint,
There's
hello.
Fandom, how you doing?
Quick question on Funko Sodas. Are they really sodas? I have never gotten one. No,
it's just a can. And
soda can.
You peel the lid and pull the lid completely off of the top. It doesn't pop top. The whole lid comes off. And then there's a pog and a figure in there that you dump out.
Yeah, it's called a soda because it's just in a soda can. But the figure is in the can. And you can put the top back on because it's kind of like a little twisty, like almost. And I've seen a lot of people are into those. I'm not.
Yeah, they're
y'all go ahead.
They're caught up in the fact that there's a chase that you can't tell if it's a chase until you open it. And a lot of that, there's that artificial demand model that I'm always going on about. So Funko found another angle to work, and that's all that is. So it's I don't know if it's going to keep going or not, if the people are going to keep buying them, but you know, time will tell. And Two Old Geeks. My wife wants to know if you like Goonies. It's okay. I mean, it's not a stellar film, but it's a decent film. Let me see. Wheels of Chaotic Doom. The Joe Ultimates are expensive here online. Each figure is 114. They won't hit mass retail here, sadly.
Hey,
Joe, what? What do you need?
This, tell us
sorry. Hold on a second, folks. We're sorry. There's something on the phone.
Hey guys, sorry, it was something issue going on at work. Sorry about that. But let's see, where were we? I don't know what David was talking about, but I am going to read some of the comments and try and talk about them until he gets back. So Robert, just a fan. I really like those Boss Popeye figures. Those did look good. I like those. They're starting to bring back the Popeye like the Mezco did, and they're making other characters. So that makes it a little better because it's not the same thing that you saw before. Because when Mezco did it, they started with, of course, Popeye, Bluto. Now this one has the baby. I think David said that other guy was like an uncle or a cousin or something. So that one was pretty good. JG says he kept watching, loved Bard. He kept watching Witcher. Okay. The Witcher was good. I actually liked that show. The first few episodes, you know, I was like, I don't know. But I kept watching it. And it actually was pretty good. Again, we don't have Netflix. And so we didn't get past season 1. So we saw season 1, and I thought it was really good. It gets a little wonky there in the middle a little bit because it got a lot going on, and it starts getting kind of blurry. But it picks up after that, and things start coming together because it really gets confusing because they keep jumping the timeline, and I don't want to say too much and give it away. But the timeline gets kind of they jump around in the timeline, so it gets kind of confusing knowing where everybody is. But you keep watching it, and you'll pick it up. Two Old Geeks is in the house. Hey, my wife wants to know if you like Goonies. I personally don't. I don't think David does. I never heard him talk about it, and I know I've never watched the show, the cartoon, so I don't think he has. Wheels of Doom. The Joe Ultimates are expensive here online. Each figure is 114 each. No, on Super 7 and Big Bad Toy Store. On Super 7, they're $55 each. And on Big Bad Toy Store, they're $54 each. So, well, you are in Australia, so that might be
shipping.
That's your issue.
Sorry about that, folks. It's something from work.
Yeah, something from work really got us, and we usually don't get bothered on the weekends, but you know, something came up outside of our control. But so they're expensive because you're in Australia, but on Big Bad Toy Store and Super 7 website, they're like $55. So
yeah, for the States,
you know,
that makes a lot of sense.
We on Johnny Future. I hate trying to piece together a collectible with all the new leftover pieces. Depending on what it is, I just take the leftovers to go.
They overprice people for them.
Yeah, Goodwill. I don't know what you were talking about.
I don't know either. Brandon, Kentucky, LPH. Are you gonna get the TMNT Movie 2 Funko Pops?
I was thinking about getting just the Shredder and the Razar and Takar. Well, yeah, those are the two. Just those three, because the turtles. I mean, the pose. Yeah, the posing and what they have in their hand is different, but still. But the other three are so different, and you're adding two characters, and then it's like the Super Shredder. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get just those, not the turtles, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay. And Fandom says he thought the soda might be soda because they did make actual cereal. And I can see that. I can see that. And JG says you're a good host. One of us is. I don't know. We try. I mean, that's just a little flub there. But yeah, at least it wasn't lightning, and that's what Robert said.
Yeah, the weather is pretty good this weekend. Last weekend it stormed on us, so.
No, they're not going to hijack us, Robert. I'm not going anywhere. Jughead's got a lightning storm going.
Oh, he does?
It's a lightning storm in Boston. So you might go out. And R. Joseph Grundy, hi guys, I'm late. No, it's not that late. It's not that late.
We've only been on like 15 minutes so far. So I see the Robbie robot in the background. Do y'all have the Iron Giant as well?
No, we only have, there he is, the Iron Giant, and it was Edwin. One of the viewers sent me that, actually. Send it to our P.O. box.
Rakeem want to know what shirt you have on.
Oh, let's see the Max versus the Pit. And this is from the 90s. It was a dealer incentive shirt that went to comic shops when Image was starting to get popular.
And Brandon says that he did Kevin Nash play Super Shredder?
Yeah, in the second Turtle film.
Yeah,
he was the guy in the costume after Shredder used the mutagen on himself. So Kevin Nash was in the costume for 10 minutes. I don't know, however long.
We saw Kevin Nash at a signing.
Did we see Kevin Nash? Was it Kevin Nash?
Yeah, it was Kevin Nash.
No, we saw, that was, are you sure you're not thinking of Scott Hall?
Oh, was it Scott Hall?
Scott Hall looked real tired. I feel bad for some of these guys.
Yeah. He was at one of the local, it's not a comic shop, one of the local toy stores. They usually bring in celebrities, and he was one of them. And you can get stuff signed.
Yeah.
So he was there.
And Kenny Potter, what's up? Love your show. Thank you.
Hey, Kenny. Oh, Robert is in Florida. I lived in Florida for a minute.
And wasn't Max an MTV cartoon? I think they might have done that. That does sound familiar. Comic Enforcer, we'd be watching the new Masters Universe Revelation show.
No. We don't have we don't have Netflix, so we won't be watching it. We'll have to watch the clips from everybody else. And maybe it'll be enough clips to string it on along to get like almost a full show. Because everybody on Earth is going to do either a reaction, or they're going to talk about it, do a review. They might show some clips. So that's the way we're going to watch it.
Yeah.
But no, we're not going to watch it because we don't have
Netflix. Anyways, Lanny Lang wants to know if we had a comic shop. No, we did not own a comic shop.
Oh, no.
And two old geeks went to a show. They found Silver Age Marvel comics today.
Oh, that's cool.
Good deal. I hope you got a good price on them. And Johnny wants to know if I have any of the 1970s Jerry Anderson stuff from UFO. No, I don't have any of the 70s Jerry Anderson stuff. Any toy shows you guys are going to in the near future? Yeah, something's coming up. I can't remember.
They're in I think it's in August. Yeah, it's in August. It's something called Ranger Stop. We're gonna go to that. And it's mainly Power Ranger based, but it says that they're going to have some toys there. So we've never been. I saw it and heard about it. Last year, of course, they didn't have it. So we're going to go to that, and that's going to be here in Buckhead. So we're going to go to that and see what it's all about, do some filming. Maybe they'll have some we can get, but we don't know.
Maybe.
But I wanted to ask Johnny Future, because you were talking last week, and I meant to ask you then, and kept getting distracted, that you've been collecting Trapper Keepers. And I wanted to know how that was going, because I had looked at getting I thought about getting like a few, like 3 or 4 of
He
them.
put up a video about that.
Oh, did you?
Showing
I didn't
his.
see the video.
I saw the video.
Oh.
He's showing his trapper keeper. He got one in real decent condition.
Oh wow! I only want like 3 or 4, like
Mhm.
you know, like Backstreet Boys or something like that. New Kids on the Block, something like that.
Blah. Kaiser Kaiju almost forgot we were streaming.
Oh, well, glad you
You made
remembered.
it.
Judson.
First time caller. Yeah, Judson Osgood, recent subscriber here, digging your content, love your collection.
Thanks.
The shirt is killer. I had one back when I was young.
Mm.
You were young? No. Are we old? Did I get old? No one told me.
Robert doesn't have Netflix either. Watching the same way, just clips. Some YouTuber brought up a good point there. Notila figure based on the new cartoon. Well, they haven't come out with it yet. They did put the Evil Lyn in there, but no Tila. And I just saw the Scare Glow recently. So
yeah, we showed it on the last weekly roundup.
Yeah. So that is an interesting point. It's like, okay, she's like a main character, but then they put out Mossman, Evil Lyn, and now Scare Glow.
Redirection,
I guess.
Because to throw people off from whatever they're actually up to. Let me see. Kenny Potter, what do you think about the new Super 7 JoJo line here? Are you excited? I don't know. And we just talked about that a little bit ago, that it's another rabbit hole. There's 4 sets of figures currently being made. Classifieds, the retro line, 3.0, and now this. You know, and plus it's not it's they're 7-inch figures and the reaction figures. So I mean, come on. Where do you go with it? I already walked away from the classifieds because I could never find them.
Yeah, but
and
oh, go ahead.
I know
sorry,
Super
sorry.
7, you can go ahead and order it and wait for a year for them to send it to you. But
but you do know
there will be wave after wave after wave.
Yeah.
How far do I want to go with it? You know,
that's true.
It can get frustrating, and plus there's going to be more because it was leaked at a convention in Brazil this week by a Hasbro executive that they are bringing the Raw series back, and they've already scheduled 2 seasons for 2022 and 2023.
Oh wow!
So that means more figures in a different line, and hopefully they don't burn that one, because most of what they've done after the Raw series has not been very good, with the exception of the Adult Swim version.
The Adult Swim version, if you haven't seen that, you can find it on Amazon Prime. That's how we saw it. It was actually pretty good. The animation was okay. The dialogue wasn't bad. It was more of an adult theme, a little darker. I like what they did with Skeletor. He wasn't like, no, not Skeletor. Sorry, Cobra Commander. It was just I think it was just a better all around show. It had a story. It just told one story, and the collection all together was like an hour long.
Yeah, because it was 5-minute shorts.
Yeah,
and they just you slam it together, you get just over an hour of footage.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. So if they do something like that, I think it would be.
It'd be worth checking out. Or you never know until it comes out where they're really going to go with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think they did a good job with the Transformer trilogy. I like that. I think they did a good job with that. I tried watching Transformer Prime. I don't really care for the animation and the way they make the Transformers look. It just looks ridiculous. The animation. I didn't like that, but the story didn't seem too bad. But honestly, I think I only watched like 2 episodes, so I didn't get far into it. But I might still watch another 1 or 2 episodes to see if it catch my interest.
Is that one where everybody's like super lean in it?
Yeah.
And it's got Dwayne Johnson is doing one of the voices.
Oh yeah, he is. And then got the little kids in there.
That was enough for me to turn it off. Between the kids and Dwayne Johnson, I was like, that's it. I'm done. And let me see. Steve Goldman wants to know if you ever got into a fight at a toy show.
No, he says, has you. He asking me, have you ever gotten into a fight with a customer?
I guess he thinks I'll lie.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't interact with anybody at toy shows. You know, a direct dealer. He say what he got to say, and then he moves on. But no, he never got into a fight. He had some choice words for one dealer, but he said, "Yeah, I don't think you're telling me the truth," or something like that. And then we all moved on, and then that was that. But no, he don't. He don't get into all that kind of stuff. Robert, just a fan. Are you planning to pick up some of the He-Man Revelation? No, I'm not buying anything new from Masters of the Universe. Again, like I said before, with the Origins, I'll buy like vehicles. They have the vehicles in the annals. They have a He-Man and Battle Cat 2-pack. I'll try and get that if I can find it. Yeah. It's going to be at Target, so who knows? But the Keldor did show up, so maybe I'll have a chance. But that kind of stuff, those 2-packs like that, I'll buy. But the one figure on a card, no. I'm not going to get any of that. And I'm not going to get the Revelation one either. I'm not interested.
Yeah. Brandon wants to know if I think they'll ever make figures from Cadillac and dinosaurs. It's already been done. Tyco did it in 1993. Tyco, 1993. I don't know if they'll ever reissue them or try to make them again, but Tyco already did that. And Rakeem Watkins wants to know if I'm getting the Hasbro Galactus. Everybody keeps asking me that. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. That fence, it's very crowded that I'm sitting on with all these toy lines. When it's a modern figure, it's harder for me to decide.
I'm reading Johnny Future about the Trapper Keepers are going to be in used, poor condition if it's vintage. Thing I hate the most, it seems to collect a lot of dust, and I hate wiping it down because the plastic. Yeah. I always wanted a Trapper Keeper as a kid. I never had a Trapper Keeper, and in Trapper Keepers back then was like a status symbol. If you had a Trapper Keeper, you were cool.
Yeah.
And but they were expensive. My parents weren't doing that. You got a notebook, little spiral notebook, maybe a 3-ring binder, and it was over. That's all you were getting.
Master Hoarder doesn't like the way the Revelation line looks. You think that looks bad? Wait till you see the one for the Kitty show that's coming out, because there's 2 Masters of the Universe shows coming out, and there's a different toy line for each one. So the Kitty one looks real bad. What's his name? He-Man looks like a gorilla.
Yeah,
they're like
I remember that.
Big, thick, hanging arms and these like tiny legs. It looks ridiculous.
I do remember. I forgot about that when they revealed the Revelation. They revealed both of them at the same time, and they showed you some like concept figures for each, but then they kind of pushed aside the Kitty version. I remember that. Robert, just a fan, says, I think the 3-inch Cobra Commander was probably the G.I. Joe Retaliation figure, ultimate figure. Came in cartoon colors and the skin mask and hooded head sculpt.
And where am I at?
Oh, Jughead said he liked Prime. I might start watching that again because, like I said, I didn't watch a lot of it. I watched about 2 episodes.
As soon as you hear Dwayne Johnson, you're gonna change and shut that TV off. I know it. And Kinemon, I picked up some old collector cards from '91 today from a con. Do you think there's still a market, or could they still be collectible? In the late '80s, early '90s, card companies way overproduced that stuff. Depends on what it is. I mean, you'd have to. My best recommendation is looking completed auctions on eBay. Especially sports cards were very seriously overproduced in the early '90s. But there's a market for everything. It's just a matter of whether or not people think it's valuable.
Johnny Future says that he bought some notebooks to put in his Trapper Keeper, and he's soon's going to buy some vintage Peachy folders to put in it. What's Peachy folders? I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure.
Sure. Robert, just a fan, is being mean.
Is he?
Yeah, he says tiny legs remind me of Batman the animated series. Because you know on Batman the animated series, he had that
and he had the big
barrel chest.
big V chest. Yeah, that's
and
right.
Itty bitty stick leg.
And Kenny Potter, that Galactus is way too high. It is expensive. And I thought that the Sentinel was more expensive, but somebody corrected me. They said actually it was a little bit cheaper than the current Galactus, the Sentinel. But yeah, $400 for Galactus, and I'm not sure about the shipping. I'm not sure if there's an additional shipping charge or not, because I've heard all kinds of different stories about that. But we'll see. It would go nice with some of the Build-A-Figures, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to throw $400 on it.
Oh, the Galactus.
That Galactus figure.
Well, it did look good standing next to the Marvel Legends figure.
Yeah, well, it's 32 inches tall. It's a big piece. It's a big figure. And according to Mike Tyson, Apocalypse can kick his butt.
Yeah, we saw a video.
That's true. He said he said it in an interview.
Yeah.
Apocalypse cannot beat Galactus in a fight. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know, because I don't know either one of them.
Where are we at here? Johnny Future Cards and comics was so overproduced in the early 90s. Yeah, they really were. Quite a bit, and that was a big change in the industry. You went from like a handful of companies making the sports cards, like maybe 5 or 6 of them, to almost 100 of them in literally 1 year. And I think it was like 1988. They went through this transition, and then everybody was making them, and they were turning them out by the tons. And a lot of card collecting hobby shops went out of business in the late 80s, early 90s, because they didn't know what to buy, and they got stuck with a lot of merchandise. Sometimes that space is more valuable than the product, and if you're not moving anything, you're just going to be buried in it, and it'll put you under after a while. They got to make their money back. So
Robert says that he's not being me. Yeah, I was messing with you. I actually can't wait for the Mayfax Batman animated. I don't understand why they didn't do the first season Batman. Yeah, I ordered that Mayfax and it hasn't come yet, but I mean, because I think I ordered mine from Sideshow. I think they said it was supposed to come out in May, and now it's July, and still haven't heard anything about it. And they didn't put out a message saying that it's even delayed. Usually when something delayed, they send you a message, but they just saying, I guess they know.
Big Chief Studios, the kings of delaying releases. If it hasn't been delayed at least 4 times, it's not Big Chief Studios. And yeah, Kenny Potter points out that even the fingers are articulated. Yeah, it's got 70 points of articulation. I'm not sure how good the articulation is.
On what, the Mayfax?
On the Galactus. He's talking about.
On the Galactus.
But yeah, even his fingers, you can open and close his finger joints. He's got 70 points of articulation, but how, without a decent demonstration, you don't know how articulated that is, because it's like, okay, it bends, but how much? If he bends his arm, is it going to go like that, or is it going to go all the way? Same thing with the knee joint. Is it truly double jointed? Is it going to be obstructed by the costuming? So yeah, you can join it and then still not be able to move it, like the 3-0 Transformers figures.
Yeah, on the picture they give you, that thing can do splits and handstands. It can do all kinds of stuff, but when you put it in your hand, those limbs don't bend.
Yeah, they're very fragile.
Yeah, so I don't know. But usually, well, some manufacturers, what they do is like months before they show you the figure, and they manipulate it and move it around to give people an idea of what it can and can't do.
And then when they do have an official unboxing reveal, they usually give it to somebody that's on the inside. They give it to one of their buddies, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, give us a good review. And they're not going to show you any problems with it. If I get it, if there's a problem, you're going to know it. Because I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Kaiju says, my brother ordered a Lord of the Rings figure and he got a rubber bootleg.
What is that? Wow.
Where do you order it from?
I know.
It had to have come from like China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, someplace like that. Oh, let me see. Judson Osgood. Not only that, in the late 80s and 90s, companies like Topps and Fleer never stopped producing the limited edition cards. That's right. They kept cranking them out. As long as retailers were still picking them up, they would crank them out. And it created a huge problem in the card market. And then the comic book industry took note of how much extra money they were making and didn't consider the crash that came from it. And they did the same thing. They did the exact same thing. Where do you think all these like alternate covers and like like reflective covers and special edition covers and variants and everything came from? They copied it from the card industry.
Robert says that if you get the Tom Baker, you might want to get a decent extra 1/6 body just in case. Beautiful details, horrible bodies, just like the Sideshow Joes.
Yeah, I know, and that's a huge problem with really all of the 6 scale figures. So they most of them don't do what they're supposed to do. The only 6 scale Hot Toys figure I have that does what was advertised is the Neo Matrix figure. You can tie that guy in a pretzel and he's fine. But the rest of them, they're so stiff. The costuming restricts all the movement. Kenny says, that's what I love about your channel. I'm just trying to be honest. Just trying to be honest with folks. Nobody's paying me to talk. I know I say it all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
2 Geek says he met Tom Cook, the animator for Thundar the Barbarian today. Did you like that cartoon and do you have the figures?
I do not have any Thundar figures, but I do remember watching that cartoon Saturday mornings. I think it was on ABC, wasn't it? I could be wrong, but I'm thinking ABC. But yeah, I did used to watch that. Thor and Akostia.
Hi, Thor.
Personally, the Galactus is overpriced, and why not reissue the original Toy Biz version? We need a Galactus, but not at that price, because people are willing to pay it. HasLab is doing it because people will pay it, and if they won't pay it, they got nothing to worry about because of the way that it's set up. Because it's on a crowdfunding. If they don't hit their number, screw you all. It's
but you get your money back.
Yeah, you get your money back, but they don't have to have actually bothered with anything but the prototype at that point.
But my thing is with these manufacturers, they know they're making stuff for adults and adults are going to pay it.
Yeah.
So why not use better quality material? Like, and I've said this before, if it's metal, if it's supposed to be metal, use die cast, or you can use put things with mixed media. You know, if it's supposed to be soft goods, use soft goods. Use better plastic, rooted hair. People are going to pay for it if it looks good and is what they want and what they expect, and you do a good quality job. You know.
Action Figure Expert says that the $3.99 actually includes the shipping, and you're only paying the extra tax. Okay, that's good to know. I wasn't sure about that. And
yeah.
Johnny Future, what's the best Godzilla figure to buy that most resembles Godzilla from the original film? I cannot remember the name of the company, but you'll know what to look for once I tell you. There is a company that put out a series of those figures, Godzilla, Gamera, and a few of the others, with an action figure. And the action figure is actually supposed to be the actor in the costume. So it is an actual rubber suit costume that goes on a 12-inch or 1/6 scale action figure that is portraying the actor in the suit from the film. And the rubber suit is accurate to the actual costume that was worn by the real actor in those original movies. Because, you know, that was a guy in a rubber suit in the old 50s and 60s films, the old kaiju films. I don't remember who made them, but those costumes are dead spot on. And you can actually put the action figure inside of it and articulate it. It's really cool.
Hey, LJ.
Yeah, there's LJ. Hello. And to all in the chat. Master Hoarder would love Ultimate's Thundar. That would be interesting. And it's getting thrown around a lot about Thundar. That name's come up a lot recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody does something with it in the next couple of years. And Robert says, David is so right on Hot Toys. Clothes always constrict. Iron Man, not so bad, but yikes, the price. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the Iron Mans, and I had one of the die-cast ones, you pose it and all the bits fall off. All the pieces are like attached with these tiny, tiny little pegs, and they fall off every time you move it.
LJ likes your shirt.
My shirt, I had that comic book back in the day. Yeah, this is the Max versus Pitt shirt. There it is again.
Robert said they should do a live action Thundar movie.
Oh God, they blow that. Chase Wilson. Oh no. What is your guys each budget on toys each, let's say every month? Or do you guys just play it by ear? There's so much out, I can't keep up with anything anymore.
Yeah, we basically play it by ear.
Yeah.
And because, you know, well, for me, I got it like categorized. Like a Funko, I won't spend over a certain amount, period, on a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
Lunchbox, won't spend over a certain amount on a lunchbox. Now, when you get to like vintage action figures, because the price range varies so much, then I'll say, okay, in a 1 month span, I won't buy more than 2 figures. You know, 1 month I might buy 2 figures, 1 month I might buy 1. This month I actually bought 3 figures, and the reason why I was I met my max of 2, and then eBay sends me a prompt on a figure I was watching. The person lowered the price, and then I was like, oh, okay. So it was already really cheap, and then they lowered the price, and then it was a make an offer. So I made an offer, like a lowball offer. I didn't expect them to take it, and they did. So then I got that figure, but like a price amount, yeah, we do have price amounts on certain things. Like I said, for me, Funko and lunchboxes, which I don't really even buy lunchboxes no more. But everything else is like 2 figures a month, you know, because it can get overwhelming and stuff gets to be a bit much. David, you?
I kind of play it by ear because a lot of the stuff that I'm looking for, the things that I have, they're so hard to find. If it comes up, you kind of got to jump on it.
Yeah.
And you have to set a limit. You have to, you know, sometimes you have to say, okay, you know what, I can't keep bidding on this because it's getting stupid. And that happened to me just recently with the Uncle Raleigh or Uncle Rolly, however you pronounce it, from the Pillsbury Playthings collection. And it's like it's basically a little finger puppet that comes in a little blue car. And I have almost everything from the Pillsbury Playthings collection from the 70s. And in the box, it'll go for almost $1,000.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was, and you never see it in the box. Maybe once every couple of years.
Yeah.
I had to let it go. It was too high. But usually I just play it by ear.
Yeah. And then it's always, you know, you might be watching something and it comes up on bids, and either nobody's bidding or the bids don't get high. So, you know, you have those things to contend with, and you just really have to figure out, you know, what you're going to do. You know, are you going to take the bid because you might not see it again, or you might not see it at that price again, you know? So there's a lot in there.
And Movie World wants to know if I remember the Sid and Marty Krofft's The Lost Saucer with Jim Nabors. Yeah, I did used to watch that show. It was originally part of one of Sid and Marty Krofft's variety shows, and then it spun off into its own Saturday morning. And I do remember that show, and there's a lot of really interesting concepts in it. Watch out for the one with the people who cannot show their faces, that have to wear masks all the time, mandated by law. Watch for that one. Let me see. Exotic Car says he has the first issue of the Max.
Oh, okay.
Star Groove, David, did you buy the Sears construction workers that were for sale on Facebook? Yes, I did. I did get those, and I'm going to showcase that when I get it, because that is just a real oddball piece, and I'll be showing that.
Oh, it jumped up.
Yeah, you should be about right here. That's a good spot.
With Brandon,
Kentucky Mud.
What y'all think about McFarlane redo the massive Spawn line for the 90s? My cousin had every one of the original figures.
I don't know. What's the original Spawn line even going for? I mean, you can find most of that stuff for like a fifth of the retail value on eBay. It never did that well. Well, it did do that well initially. I remember you could once upon a time get like $150 for the Malvoltia figure, but now what's it going for? The last time I saw one for sale, it was like $10.
You see a lot of Spawn figures in toy shops. Because I know we used to go to a couple of toy shops in Illinois, and they had tons and tons of Spawn figures in there. Exotic car. My tastes are always changing, so I'm always buying and selling figures and switching up my collection. Eventually, I want to stop collecting altogether and just sell off. Why do you want to do that?
I think that's why he's putting little teardrops.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and real quick, Johnny Future. I just dropped something in there. It should be...
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
It's at the bottom. Takara Combat Joe. That was the name of it. I just remembered. The Takara Combat Joe makes those like 12-inch action figures in the rubber suits, and it should come in a big box. So look that up. As far as King Kong, I'm not sure.
Hold on. Steven wants to know, what's your rarest autograph?
Cool. Rarest autograph. I guess it depends. I mean, I've got that one Avengers one. I got the cast signed Avengers card that includes like Stan Lee and the actor who played Loki and all sorts of people that aren't even in the picture. But I also have what is it? Fantasy Island, signed by Ricardo Montalban and
Fantasy Island
and Hervé Villachet. I mean, and that's rare because back then they weren't really doing that kind of thing, and you can't get either of their signatures anymore. Autographs have gotten to be a bigger and bigger market, so it may not be worth a lot, but it's probably a lot harder to find than any of the other signatures that I've got.
Yeah. LJ said he spends $200 a month and he won't spend over $50 on a Funko Pop. Yeah, you got to set a limit, because if not, you just go crazy. Robert loves the McNuggets. I like that McNugget because I did get the McDonald's set because it takes you back. Now they got a new one. Yeah. If I buy Hot Toys, I buy in pieces, body without head, head without body, then pieces. Oh yeah.
Really?
Okay. What about the clothes then? You buy the clothes, the body with the clothes on it or something? Because I thought about that, but then it's like, how do you get the clothes unless the person's selling the clothes separately?
Yeah, Jughead masks mandatory by law. That would never happen.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there was random numbers printed all over their costume and their masks, and they're like, "Those people have no numbers. Oh my God!" And they ran for the authorities and got the 2 kids arrested.
Oh.
Something like that. Move this back down a little bit. What, Chase Wilson, do you guys have a good
retro toy store in your area?
No. Not really, no. Not hardly, not close to where we are.
No, and then the handful that we've been to, they don't have all that great of stuff. So no, we don't have any good ones.
LJ's liking the new sodas, the Funko Sodas.
Oh yeah, you're collecting those? I've seen a couple of videos where people are opening them up and got them displayed and stuff like that.
Oh, Jughead, yeah, you got that right, actually. It says Jughead Grayson, LPH's autograph on the marriage license is David's rarest. It's the one I appreciate the most.
Comic told the future. Yeah. You can find Hot Toy clothes on eBay. Oh, really?
Yeah, people buy them and pull them apart. And they do this with Mezco too. And you know, they get the figure and they sell every single piece in it, one piece at a time, because they can make more out of it piecemealing it out than selling the whole figure all together. And I've seen that done with vintage pieces too. The guy with the Godzilla pissed me off. He had excuse me, a Mezco, not Mezco, Mattel Shogun Godzilla, and his auction: left arm, left fist, left leg, right leg, head, tongue, torso, tail. He pulled the whole thing apart and put it up piece by piece. And I'm like, oh, you bastard. That drives me nuts.
Wow. Chase saw Kyle Peterson YouTube channel. And that the guy just spent $15,000 on someone's whole Masters of the Universe collection in his most recent video. Wow.
What's he doing with it though? Did he buy it to resell it, or is he a collector?
Or maybe he might switch it out for some of his, upgrade.
Maybe. And Two Old Geeks wants to know if the photo in the thumbnail is a Lobo shirt. Yeah, just like this one, it's another comic shop promotional shirt from the 90s. And I've worn that to conventions, and I've actually had people come up to me and try to buy it off my back. Say, hey, could you sell me that shirt? No. No. I'm going to go home bare chested.
Yeah, okay. Because Robert is talking about how he pieced together the Hot Toys. Because I thought about doing that with a couple of them that are so expensive. But then I was like, if you buy them in all of those different pieces like that, would it still add up to be the same amount?
Yeah, you'll pay way more buying it in pieces. That goes for anything. Can says language. I guess because I got mad about the Godzilla there.
Oh, yeah. No room here to display anything. We are all, full capacity. I know. You got to put things in totes.
Yeah, that's what LJ says. Collection's overflowing.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss going to the stores and being able to find stuff and buy. Yeah, because every time we go to the store, they seem like it's all of the same thing. They put on the front is vintage this, vintage that, or toy store. And then they put all of these great pictures, and then you go inside and it's Marvel Legends and Black Series and all of that stuff and Funko. And it's never really anything like interesting. Sometimes you'll see some Hot Toys in there. We've been to a couple of, you saw Hot Toys or you saw some Mezcos. But I don't know. I guess it depends on your taste. So.
Yeah. Dama has just joined us.
Hey, Dama.
How you doing? Hey, who else? I'm sure everybody saw this about Paul Orndorff.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Orndorff died this week. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. Classic wrestler, because he falls into the classic genre. For us, the golden age of wrestling is between 75 and 95. And after 95, it got to be too much of a soap opera. But he falls right in there. And he was a major antigen to Hulk Hogan and to Roddy Piper, wasn't he? And he passed away. And this an interesting connection there, if you think about it. This means that all 6 of the original 6 main event heels from WrestleMania have all died. Look it up. All WrestleMania 1 through 6, Paul Orndorff was one of the heels, but every single main event heel that fought Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 1 through 6 are all deceased now.
Wow. You know who else died? Bismarcky.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't he die yesterday?
Yeah. I saw the thing this morning. He died. It was 57, diabetes complications.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't that old.
Robert, I think it depends on. I got an awesome time wheeling Smallville 1/6 figures for less than 100. Yeah, it does depend, I think, on who you're trying to put together or whatnot. We tried watching Smallville because I've heard a lot of people say Smallville is a good show, but we saw that first episode and there were too many teenagers. It looked like a teenage soap opera. So, I couldn't get into it, but I've heard a lot of people, adults, say that is a very good show. but I know I just got to get past like maybe the first 2-3 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, Bismarcky. That's the only thing anybody remembers him for, Jughead. Unfortunately.
He had a lot of good stuff. He had more
but
than
that's
that.
the only thing anybody remembers. Mr. Magnet, what's up? With my favorite people just logged into YouTube, and there you are. That's how I like it.
Hey.
Oh, welcome aboard.
Kaiser says too many teenage shows on Netflix. Yeah, Netflix has a lot of teenage soap operas, and they're just so sappy and so I don't know. I guess you have to be a teenager to really get into it.
I didn't. I couldn't stand 90210.
I didn't watch it, or Dawson's Creek.
I couldn't watch it. I 1-2 episodes, and I'm like, forget it. Even as a kid, I didn't know anybody who did.
I saw the very first episode of Dawson's Creek, and I maybe saw 2 or maybe 3 episodes of 90210. And I was just like, this too much. You know, it just felt, I don't know. I can watch soap operas, you know, like Young and the Restless or something like Dallas.
The only soap opera that's any good is Dark Shadows.
Yeah, we still on that. It is hilarious. It's just good. But you know, you gotta be in the soap operas, I guess. But the teenage ones is just too much.
Yeah.
There's go ahead, Patty.
Kenny did not know that Mr. Wonderful had passed away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just
Patty.
this past week.
Patty saying something. Oh yeah, Stargrove. He sang The Vapors. Yep. That was a good song.
Yep.
Okay, Patty, there's a company that sells hot toy pieces called Black Ops Toys online. In fact, the companies that make figures, in fact, all companies that make figures. Oh, really? Black Ops.
Okay.
Of course, I don't have my little notepad by me.
Oh, yeah.
I got
what are you doing?
I'm going to go grab my little notepad because when people say stuff, I write it down so I can look it up.
Brandon says he's got a little mystery box he'll be sending in a few months.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. Is it for our anniversary?
Our anniversary coming up?
Yeah, we do have it. You know what our anniversary is. She does this to me every time. She was like, how long have we... and I asked her, how long have you been married? 5 years? And she comes up with something crazy. She acts like she doesn't know how long we've been married, acts like she doesn't know when the anniversary is, acts like she doesn't know when birthdays are.
Black Ops.
And I know she knows. I know she knows how long we've been married. How long we've been married. Come on. I know you know.
Wait a minute. Okay, it's 21, so it's an odd year. So this year.
See what I mean? You know she's doing it on purpose, right?
I don't think about that. Kaiser says we've been married for 84 years.
Sometimes it feels like it.
Oh, LJ said 7. No, now I know it's longer than 7 because we got married in 2012. See? So you just add that together.
Which means that in the next couple of months here, we'll have been married how long?
9 years.
Come on.
It's an odd year. So that means it's an odd number because we got married on an even number.
Mr. Magnet wants to know if we collect anything besides toys, like nice antique firearms. I try and do it all, LOL.
Yeah, we talked about that before. I used to collect bells, bows and pictures, lighthouse figurines, and precious moments. David, you don't collect nothing else.
Comic books.
Oh yeah, comic books.
Yeah, comic books and stuff, video game stuff. You see, I got a bunch of SNES and Sega Genesis and GameCube and stuff there. Nintendo 64.
Hold on, because it's going by fast. Go ahead.
And where are you going?
I'm going back up.
You went too far.
No, because see, we were way up here.
See, now you're messing it up.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I got a little okay, we did that.
Yeah,
90210 made me want to pour battery acid in my eyes. Small bill. It's not as bad as Flash. David watched Flash.
Yeah, the first season was good,
and Arrow.
and Arrow. First season was good, and then season 2 on, it was just a mess. And I was just like, I can't watch this anymore. Second season on both of them, it's like it was a different show.
Okay, so action expert. When it comes to Smallville.
Oh,
Smallville. Feel you need to get past the first 2 seasons, and from season 3 to 10 is pretty good.
See, now someone else just said the opposite.
Yeah, because
just
Robert
said
says
first 5 are good and the rest of it sucks. So, so come on, guys.
It's all about your taste, I guess.
It is.
Where are the cats? They sleeping.
They are actually sleeping next to each other, which is like
very rare.
Which is a step up, because they tolerate each other, but they're not exactly friends.
Okay, Monkey Depot. Yeah, they hate each other. All they do is fight.
They don't fight, but they have standoffs.
Yeah, and they
so
at each other.
Nobody's getting like hurt. They don't need to be pulled apart or anything, but they circle each other, and
swat at
somebody
each other.
tries to go through a door and the other one stands there and raises a paw and just waits, and silliness.
They both try to sit at the window. The window's empty. One goes to the window, so now the other one wants to come to the window.
Somebody goes to a bowl and the other one will sit in front of it so they can't reach it.
Yeah, one go to the bathroom, the other one go and watch. It's all kind of ridiculous stuff they do. Johnny Future, why?
Oh, no.
Now, speak of the devil, one of them is
Oh, that's Crumb.
Yeah, he's always. He heard somebody talking about him. Johnny Future, David, why didn't Jack Colvin, the nosy reporter, appear in Death of Incredible Hulk? I always thought he should have been in the final show.
I have no idea. I barely remember that, actually. I know what you're talking about, though.
Jughead says, just like a woman never remembers the important dates. Because those things don't matter. Guys, wait a minute. You guys are married? I thought you two were just hanging out.
No, we are actually married. We got married in 2012.
Mm-hmm. Monkey Depot, I wrote that down. Johnny didn't. He passed during the movie. Oh, I don't know. It's gonna have some masters in comics. Okay. Robert.
Raccoon Eyes is here.
Oh, hey, Raccoon Eyes. Hello, Raccoon. If you really want to go super cheap, buy Hallmark stuff. Sometimes they got good stuff. Oh, as a gift, yeah. I'm liking the new Superman and Lois. Oh, really? I think I saw ads for that.
I don't know. I mean, they're always bringing that show back. I mean, how many Superman shows have there been?
Yeah, but that's my thing. They can continue the story on. Somebody just gave a donation of $15. I don't know who. Oh, I got to scroll down.
Yeah, you'll have to scroll down and see who that is. We really appreciate.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
And by the way, that ends up going towards giveaways. So which we will have one in the future, actually, in the near future, because we have a 6,000 subscriber giveaway coming up.
Wait a minute, Kinnaman 100. He has a friend that brags on his Beanie Baby collection all the time.
You know who has a really big Beanie Baby collection?
Who?
Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, we saw that this morning.
For real.
On a video. Oh, Johnny Future. National Ice Cream Day is tomorrow. Oh, is it? Can you go to Baskin Robbins and get a free?
Yeah, if you want to stand in line for 4 hours.
Like
for
on
a single
Pie
scoop. Day.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
We did that. We went out on Pie Day, and the line was literally
an hour and a half wait.
Yeah, just to get in line.
And I've seen that also when they have the Pancake Day, and like Denny's and IHOP give away the pancakes, and the line is wrapped around the building and into the parking lot. I'm like, golly, man, I'm not going to do that. But
Kaiju said his cat is always interested in what I'm eating. This cat used to come and steal the food out of your foot.
That's where the term crumb comes from, because we used to call him Crumb Snatcher. Because remember, he was homeless. This was a stray cat. So and now he's completely domesticated, obviously, because look at him. He's pathetic. But no, we love him though. But he would anything that was out, mixed nuts, dry cereal, name it. You couldn't put a cup down without him drinking it. Didn't know, matter what it was, coffee, tea, soda. He would be licking it up, and it's like, get out of it. You'd have to chase him out of it because he's not supposed to be eating that stuff. But he's gotten over that. He's gotten a lot better.
You'll be eating a sandwich, and he'll just come and take a bite out.
Yeah, he'll creep up on you while you got your sandwich, and he'll bite the end off of it and run off with it.
Patrick, hi Patrick.
Yeah, and Jesse, what? Happy Saturday, everyone.
Robert just wants a Superman Alex Ross style movie. Okay, now I think I can.
Catch up or try.
That cat is that's cat get on my nerve. Every day is ice cream day. That's true.
Yes. Now you said it. Pizza and ice cream, and that's all I need.
Liver and rice.
I do need donuts too.
I like liver and rice.
I want donuts. They do not have a liver flavored donut.
I'm not, Gary. Hey, Gary, I'm not standing in line for hours for free ice cream or pancakes either. Yeah. I mean, you can make it at home, pancakes at home yourself. It'd
be cool. I mean, and to me, that's kind of a little kid thing.
Yeah.
I would do it with a little kid. If I had a little 5-6-year-old, because they love that kind of stuff, because they don't know any better, I would totally.
Thanks, Jughead.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Jughead. I would totally do that. For the kid.
But not, I don't know about standing in line.
As an adult, it's worthless.
Yeah. I like Oreo ice cream.
You know who else doesn't like liver? Because Robert says, liver. Arthur Fonzarelli. If you know anything about Happy Days lore, it was the only thing Fonzie was afraid of. He would curl up in a ball if you showed him liver. I'm serious.
We are talking about True Lies last week. I bought the Blu-ray. I think it's an import. Love Arnie. Try to get all his movies. We saw True Lies, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
It was with Jane Seymour, right?
Not
Jane Seymour. I'm saying the wrong person. But yeah, that was the one where he was the secret agent. I know Tom Arnold was in that. What is it? You want to move? Or did you just...
Yeah. Ice cream on top of pancakes. Ice cream and pancakes.
Well, it's the same thing as if you put it on top of a piece of cake or on top of,
some pie.
I don't know about pie, but yeah.
A lot of people eat it with pie.
Yeah, they do. A la mode is what you call that.
What kind of pizza? I'm a football pizza guy with thin. I like spinach with roasted tomatoes. Spinach pizza.
I like margarita.
Yeah, the margarita kind. That's good.
And vegetables. I like mushrooms. I like feta cheese, stuff like that. Jamie Lee Curtis, thank you.
Okay.
Raccoon eyes.
Meat lovers pizza, pineapple pizza. I think I've had pizza with pineapple. I had it with anchovies before, and that was nasty.
Salty as hell, right?
Yeah. I'm from the South. Liver was all we got. Fried chicken. Oh, I love some fried chicken liver, and they used to sell it at KFC.
You want to get up?
And I used to go there and get it, and I still fry it at home.
Watch your step.
You guys like pineapple on your pizza? We don't get it. I've had it once.
I've had that actually.
Pizza anchovies. I had anchovies once, and it was blah. Extra cheese, thin. I don't like thin sliced pizza, thin crust.
I don't mind it.
I like the thick ones.
I don't mind it, but yeah, thick's nice. And what is it? Craig Brooks.
Hey, Craig.
Hey there from the UK. Oh, hello, United Kingdom. What figures would like to see from Mezco that's coming up?
Oh, wait, get him off of your figure. Yeah. He's just standing up on your...
Cats don't know any better. It's not too bright. Their brain is the size of a shelled walnut. So
David liked to tell that story.
Keep that in mind.
Get away from them.
It's true.
Go get down.
From Mezco. Where was that question again?
Craig.
It's flipping away from me.
Yeah.
What figures you would like to see from MezCon that's coming up? Thank you. MezCon. What was announced in MezCon?
I don't know. I didn't see anything from it. Oh, yeah, I do remember, but I don't remember what was announced, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was announced either.
I don't remember.
I'll have to look and see, because when they do the official reveals, we'll put it on the weekly roundup.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll see. But I mean, I've been backing off of Mezco quite a bit recently.
Kaiju liver and pig's feet, the ultimate vomit. Oh no! When I was a kid, I used to eat the pig's feet.
Yeah, Craig knows I like the Mezcos. Yeah, I do like the 12 scale. I don't know too much about what's coming up from MezCon just yet. I got some speculations, but whatever. I like to wait until the official announcement comes out so I can show it on the weekly roundup, and then speculate about whether or not I'm going to bother with it. Like, I'm still on the fence about that Fantastic Four set. And funny enough, that Mezco Fantastic Four set would go great with that HasLab Galactus. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, because you really want
they're
that
scaled.
They're scaled to it.
It would work.
The guy, G.I. Joe is back. Movies, games, action figures. All we need now is McDonald's cups and McDonald's glasses and the little Happy Meal boxes. They should go back to that. They switched to bags. When I worked at McDonald's, they had bags. But I think they would do good if they go back to the boxes and put things on the box.
The boxes cost more, number one. Yeah. And number two, McDonald's is not a child-oriented restaurant anymore. Those days are done.
That's true.
They got away from it when they decided to compete with Starbucks.
And it's now McCafe.
Yeah. When they went that way, and that's why they did that. That's why they put the copper roofs and McCafe and all that. They said, "Oh, Starbucks is making money, so screw them kids. We're gonna."
And they took out the play area. Yeah. Some of them have the play area.
Yeah, some of them still have like the ball pit and stuff, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
Jonelle likes bacon and green peppers on there. Oh, Master Maniac.
Here. Yay. Master Maniac Mexico. How are you doing today?
Hold on. I think I lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hold on. I got to. Okay, here we go. Good evening. A little late, but I was toy hunting in Mexico.
Excellent.
I hope you got some good finds in Mexico City.
Oh, he found, you found.
Mazinger bootlegs.
Mazinger, yeah. Oh. Mazinga bootlegs. Yeah, that's.
Now I only have to figure out how to
crazy looking. Box. Oh, he's asking for our post office box.
He said I only have to figure out how to get them to your post office box. He want to get it to you.
Jonelle Rodriguez, feta and chicken breast. I like feta on pizza, actually. I really do. I haven't had that in a while. There was a really nice local family-owned pizza shop that we used to frequent here, and they closed with the COVID nonsense. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they've reopened, and I feel bad about that for them.
Yeah, because their pizza was good, and they had good lasagna.
It was really good. Bold Gambit, hello. How you doing,
Bold Gambit? Does anyone know how much those Boss Popeye figures might be?
$35 a piece is the retail.
Because you showed that.
$35 a piece is the retail. Yeah, Robert says if it's a choice between the Fantastic Four or Galactus, I'd get the FF. But yeah, that just popped into my head. I was like, because they're only slightly taller than the Legends figures by like maybe a half an inch in true 12th scale. So they would fit with that Galactus that was made to be in scale. And the Galactus is modeled after a Kirby style. And the Mezco Fantastic Four figures are modeled after the 1967 cartoon show. So I was like, they would match. That actually makes sense. It jives. And now I'm just like, because that's $420 for the Mezco set plus postage and tax, and then $400 plus tax for the. I mean, you're almost into it for $1,000, so that you can say, "Wow, that looks cool."
Yeah, that's like anything you buy. Even if you get statues and all of that, it's all the same thing,
You're right.
You just got it to say, "Oh yeah, it looks good sitting over there."
Johnny Future wants to know if I've ever been to Philadelphia's Pat King of Steaks. Rocky Balboa was even there in the first movie. No, I have not been to Philadelphia.
Lasagna, yum, yum, yum.
Jonelle Rodriguez,
they killed
lasagna.
Ronald's whole crew with the drive-by coffee shop. Yeah, McDonald's coffee by itself is better than Starbucks. I've heard that. I'm not a coffee. I drink coffee at home. No, I don't go out and buy coffee. But I've
Yes.
always heard that McDonald's coffee is better than Starbucks
But
coffee.
I don't trust McDonald's.
No,
because you know the thing is like with their milkshakes, the reason their milkshake machines are always getting clogged up, and you can find information on this, is because they put plastic taggets in it to keep it smooth, to keep the thing smooth. Twice I've ever had a McDonald's shake, and both times I was sick to my stomach.
Nobody like kids. It's toys, Target for adults. No Saturday cartoons. No kid-friendly restaurants anymore. No Chuck E. Cheese or show.
Yeah,
they Chuck E. Cheese around here.
Yeah, there is a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
there is a Chuck E. Cheese, but they are going away though.
I remember Showbiz. Wasn't that the one with the bear? Showbiz Bear. It was a pizza place.
I've never been to a Showbiz.
Oh, but it was a pizza place like Chuck E. Cheese, but I think they had a bear. I remember. I think I remember actually going there.
And Stone Sour makes a point there. He says changes in fast food chains would be a good discussion video. Yeah, it would. Yeah. We've been thinking about that too, kind of like a whatever happened to ish series.
Well, we've been thinking about some topics to talk about. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to what?
So fast food change, the changes in fast food changes.
Yeah, changes in fast food restaurants.
And the guy, he says, you both are great. I really enjoyed the live stream. Thanks. This one or the one yesterday? I was in a Facebook live stream yesterday that went on forever and ever.
Yeah.
It was all right though. We had a good time.
Fast food restaurants.
Steve Goldman, what's your worst experience you've ever had at a fast food restaurant? Fast food restaurant? I don't know.
Worst experience?
Worst experience at a fast food restaurant.
I don't think I ever really had too many bad experiences.
I don't know. I get frustrated at some of those places, though.
I know. Well,
we got frustrated in that one. What was that restaurant we were just in when we were in South Carolina?
What happened?
We went to that restaurant. Was it Ruby Tuesday?
Oh, but that's not a fast food restaurant.
It is so. It's just a high-end fast. Please, those are fast food restaurants. They brought the wrong food. They brought me the wrong food.
They brought him the wrong food.
Told me that, I'll get that fixed. I'm going to bring the right stuff out for you. No one ever came back to the table. Ever.
And then the thing that was funny, and I didn't laugh. I didn't. He ordered a piece of salmon. That salmon literally was this big. And on the pizza, on the picture, it was like that.
It was gigantic, big. And then it was like
this big,
a sliver.
And he ordered like mashed potatoes and got zucchini, and it's like, how do you mix up mashed potatoes and zucchini?
And then have the nerve to ask for a 20% tip.
Yeah.
I got a tip for you. Oh crap.
Oh, Master Mexico favorite pizza. We just talked about pizza actually.
Well, we got everybody hungry now.
Oh yeah. He said Black Forest smoked ham with goat cheese.
Yeah.
What can I do?
He's German.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because he's the German that lives in Mexico.
That lives in the south of the border.
Yeah. Yep. No more Chuck E. Cheese. It's all Dave and Buster's now.
I haven't been to a Dave and
Buster's.
I've been to
Dave and Buster's once. I've been there once, and it was just
noisy
loud,
and crowded.
Yeah, it was very crowded, and the building felt small. It was a big building because they had a lot of the games and all of that. But boy, it was loud with the people, the music, the game machines.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like it was like a game room with some with tables for you to eat, just like kind of in there. It was like the restaurant was a second thought. It was like, oh yeah, that's right. We're supposed to be a restaurant.
Here too. Get out of the way.
Let's put some tables. It wasn't like a different area. Like it's a place around here called Andretti's, and it's an arcade and games, and then they have like a race car track, but then they have a section for you to eat. So it felt
away from all that. Yeah.
Yeah, everything was kind of like separated. But Dave and Buster's, the time I went, either it was the one I went to, or I don't know, because I only ever went to one. It just felt like everything was kind of, well, the food section, the eating section, was just kind of crammed in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I think about, I think nobody likes kids. No Great America, no Six Flags. They got a Six Flags here in Atlanta.
Do they?
Six Flags over Georgia is not that far from here. I always want to go because they have the military get in free.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking the lines, it's going to be like Disney World, and you go and you stand in line for 3 hours. So I never want to go.
That one in, I don't think that was a Six Flags, but the one that we went to in Kansas City.
That wasn't Six Flags. I know which one you're talking about, though. That was pretty cool.
Because it had the Snoopy Park in it.
But we went in the middle of the week.
Yeah, you go in the middle of the day. There was nobody there.
Yeah. Okay. Domino's is cheap fast food pizza. Oh. Domino's got, I was going to say Domino's got better, but that was Papa John's got better.
Yeah. Omar Gonzalez says, "Hey, did I make it on time to the live?" Yes, you did.
When you get here, you're on time.
Yeah, when you get here, you're on time. There's no penalty for lateness. You don't have to stay after.
Wendy's Frosties aren't the same as they used to be. I used to like Wendy's Frosties.
I haven't had one of those in I don't even remember when I was still living in Kansas. I think it's the last time I had a Frosty.
Yeah, I haven't had one in a long, long time. But I remember them, and I remember liking that, and I remember it being good. I don't know what it tastes like now. What are some of your phone customer service pet peeves? Let it all out.
The fact that there isn't any. What customer service? You get kicked around through electronic services that insists that you speak into the phone and can't understand what you're saying, no matter how clearly you speak. And then when you get someone on customer service, they can't freaking help you. And especially if it's like eBay or whatever, you try to call eBay's customer service and it gets translated to somebody with an accent so bad you don't even know what planet they're on, let alone the country. And then they can't help you anyway. I'm sorry, sir, we cannot help you with this. And it's like, thank you for wasting the last half an hour to be.
Mine is when they talk to you like you're stupid.
Yeah.
Like I had.
And they don't understand.
No, well, you can make them understand, because I had a foreign girl, and I hope that's not offensive, but I had a foreign girl from Comcast.
Well, most of the call centers are overseas.
From India.
Yeah.
From Comcast, because I was living in Illinois, and at first when I got there, I had an apartment. I moved from the apartment to a house, so they were like, give your cable box to the guy when he comes. So I gave the cable box to the guy. The guy gave me a new cable box and fixed it up. Okay, months passed, more than 6 months. I get a bill. Oh, you owe us for a lost cable box. And I'm like, okay, now we got a problem. You talking about I owe you for a lost cable box. So I called them, and it was like, you had a cable box. We don't know where it is. It's lost. You owe us. What happened to it? And I told him, I was like, I moved. The guy took it. Your worker took the cable box, and he said he was going to turn it in. Well, we have no idea where I said, no, you can stop right there, because you know where the cable box is. Because when I call Comcast, you know who I am without talking to me. You look at my phone number. You can send a signal to my box from wherever you at to where the box is. Turn the box off right now, and you'll know exactly where the box is. Call the guy that came to my house. You know who came to my house. You know his phone number. You know where his check go. You know his employee ID.
You know where he is because the van that he's driving is tagged.
Yeah. And you knew who came to my house. Take his check, you will find your box. Turn the box off, you'll find your box. Okay, ma'am. I got a call back.
They found the box.
A few hours later. Okay, yeah, we've located box. Sorry for your inconvenience. We'll give you a whole year of free service. Free TV, free internet. I was like, oh yeah, okay, thanks. So and that right then I said, I'm cutting off Comcast, but I kept it for that year because it was free. And when that year was up, I called them. They was like, oh, what can we do? I was like, you could quit lying, telling me I took your box. Now I'm turning the service off. And I turned the service off. Yeah. And I really, but you get on them like that. And if you do, you catch them up and stuff.
Yeah.
They shut up.
Yeah, it's called 0. Free is the magic number.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Fuddruckers. I used to like them. You could go in there and you make your own burgers in Fuddruckers. The one I used to go to, they had like a buffet, and they give you the bread and the meat, and then the all of the condiments and everything was like on a buffet, and then you can go and kind of make it yourself. Put all this stuff on there.
I never been to one. Janelle Rodriguez, New Jersey, is in the house.
Hey,
how you doing, New Jersey?
I never been to New Jersey.
Is it storming out there?
Are you interested in the 30112
Brooks Day
Hulkbuster?
Yeah, are you interested in the 30 Hulkbuster 112 scale? I like it, but man, that thing is expensive.
They make 112?
Yeah, they do. Remember, we showed that on the roundup a couple of weeks back.
Was it like Transformers
$240 or something? And you can put their Mark IV Iron Man inside of it or something like that. And I'm like, wow, but that's expensive though.
Johnny, customer service. Did you do this? Did you do that? Yes, that's why I'm calling you. Kaiser, thank you. Come again. Yeah. Wendy's Vanilla Frosty sucks. Yeah, they did good in the chocolate one because that's what they started with, and they had only chocolate for years. And then they moved over to vanilla, and I think that was it. Just those two. They didn't venture off in the strawberry. Raccoon Eye said you can ask for an English speaker and they will transfer you to a call center in the US or Canada. It happened to me a couple of times, so now I ask right away for an English person.
You think you're transferred. You know how that works. I saw a documentary on that, and the reason that they use India as a call center all the time is, one, it's cheap. 2, it's a high-paying job in India compared to other jobs. And 3, all people in India are multilingual. They all speak English anyways, because even though the British government is gone, that was one of the requirements at the time. So they kept with that tradition. Everybody there speaks English. When you have a call center in India, there's tiers of levels of service based on how clear your English is. Because some of them, their English, you can barely understand it. And some of them, their English is as clear as ours. So after they've determined that, because they have classes, you have to go to these classes and seminars when you get the job, and they put you into blocks. So what they do is, if you're in a block where somebody and you can't cope with it, they transfer you to a block with somebody who has more advanced English skills. But not necessarily. I mean, they'll tell you anything. They'll yeah, my name is Susan, and you know it isn't. Just like we'll transfer you to a Canadian call center, not necessarily. And if you call a call center and it has an area code in the United States, that doesn't mean you're calling the United States because you're calling a transfer system that reroutes the number God knows where. So yeah, digital age, folks, space technology. This is what's in it for you.
Robert said, what did I replace Comcast with? WOW, WOW.
Yeah, I remember them.
They had TV and internet service in our area, and they were cheaper. They provided you with faster internet, and they didn't freeze up on you all the time. Comcast was always buffering, and WOW never buffered. Johnny, I hate it when they ask you if you've done all these things that you've done. That's the first thing they do. You did this, you
well, they want to make sure
in the remote and all kinds of stuff.
They want to make sure that you're not dealing with a dimwit. Yeah. Basically.
Nate wants to know what to do. Super 7 cartoon accurate Joes pulling at my nostalgia strings, but the look and amount of accessories 112 Joes will have.
That's 5 companies now. That's 5 different G.I. Joe lines being produced. I forgot about Mezco. Because you got
Mezco.
You got the classified, you got Super 7, Mezco. Then you got the retro figures, and you got the 3-0 figures. That's 5, and there's going to be 6 because, as I was mentioning earlier, Hasbro, an executive at Hasbro at a convention in Brazil just this past week, let it slip that they have commissioned for 2 seasons of a reboot of a Raw, and that they're going to be in for the 2022 and 2023 season. So that's another wave of figures completely different from what's already out now.
But you got to kind of figure out, okay, what do I want to do with these figures? Because if you're 100% in the box collector, Mezco is not going to appeal to you. No. Because you got to take that out. It's in a can or a box or whatever.
Yeah, it's got a flap. You can't. It's got no artwork on it. You don't. Yeah, you can't see anything unless you're going to pose it.
Yeah, so if you are out of the box collector, then the Mezco might appeal to you because it's like, oh, okay, I can take it out of the box, I can put it up, and then if I need to pack it away, if I decide to sell it later, I can put it back. And people would, they kind of get that with Mezco. It's like, oh, okay, you still got the box, the inner box, the accessory, the bags or whatever. But, if you want to take it out and you got all of those options, then you got to say, okay, well, which one probably more articulate, got better, is a better quality? Is one of them all plastic? Do they have soft goods? There's a lot to toss around.
Yeah, mixed media and then the other one is also with the new Super 7. Of course, they come in those Ultimates sleeves, so you can pull that sleeve off and put it behind, and then you got this nice big window display.
Yeah,
they're doing reaction figures, got great retro looking card art.
I like the reaction figures, and the thing with the G.I. Joe reaction figure, because it's already 3 3/4, and that's the size of the reaction figure, it actually looks like that's how it's supposed to be. Unlike the other ones, they always look kind of funny because they came out and they were bigger and they're making it look all small and everything. And Cracker Barrel is still around here.
Yeah, Nate P says Mezco will never stay in box at my house. The figures need to be posed and photographed. Yeah, and my Mezcos are all on display.
Yeah, he takes all his Mezcos out and put it in the boxes.
Yeah, I don't mind opening the new ones.
Yeah, I want every call center to still to sound like Joe Pesci. I want I was at Cracker Barrel on Sunday.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I don't care for Cracker Barrel all that much. I mean, they're okay. We ate there
they got a big fireplace.
Times. I like the fireplace. And they got that pegboard game.
Yeah.
That pegboard game.
It's on the table. Mm-hmm. You don't get nothing if you solve it. I know because I've solved it. I've beaten that pegboard. I have beaten that pegboard.
Master Mexico bought a Hulkbuster at Lego Mini today.
Lego Mini.
For 80 pesos.
Pesitos.
So I always thought the Planet Hulk and Batman with me. Oh my God, I overspent today. Got me quite a bit of Masters as well. Half broke, but full and happy now.
Well, as long as you had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Jughead wants to know how bad a G.I. Joe cartoon would be with today's atmosphere. No longer a real American hero.
No, it wouldn't be a real American hero no more.
Yeah, we don't know. It remains to be seen how it's going to turn out, because as we have seen, a modern show with a vintage backing can be made well, or it can blow. And that's why people are worried about the Revelations. They think it's going to suck.
Mm-hmm.
But also, on the other end of that, there are vintage franchises that can be done right, and we bring it up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
Cobra Kai pulled it off. It can be done as long as you don't try to cram an agenda in there and just let the story be what it is.
Yeah, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to take American out. They'll probably just call it G.I. Joe, but American. And they don't want nothing toxic, the toxic masculinity, nothing too manly.
Yeah.
You got to tone all that man stuff down.
Oh, plus there's going to be a live action Joe show, too, focusing on Lady J, remember?
So, I thought that was going to be a movie.
No, that's not a movie. That's Snake Eyes is the movie.
Oh, so that Lady J one is a TV show?
TV show. So that's another wave of figures.
G.I. them and they.
Yeah.
Because it can't be up.
G.I. people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kaiser says it's okay. Everyone gets an award nowadays. I don't want one. I don't need one. I don't need a pat on the back to feel good.
That makes me think about this workout program we do, and the guy always starts off, you showed up today, you press play, you're already a winner.
So I could I'll just lay down on the floor then and just take a nap while you guys work out. I didn't need it.
And you're
already a winner.
All through the show, that's all this guy said. Oh, you can press pause if you want to. You're already a winner.
Do whatever you want. You're a hero. You are writing your own success story right now.
Okay, let's see. Kenny Potter. Yeah, Super 7. Oh, okay. Yeah, Super 7's probably only going to have single jointed elbows and single jointed knees. Yeah. G.I. Joe Squad, that would be a good name, or politically correct name, I guess.
Oh, Master Maniac says he found the 80s land shark today in really good condition.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Classic.
Could pass. Anyway, if Apocalypse is actually coming, I have a appropriate ride. I enjoy it so much today. Josephina X. Get everybody in there.
Just call it G.I. J, and then you won't know. G.I. J.
Yeah.
Really unknown hero. Oh, and Nate says he digs the Max and Pitt shirt. The Pitt Build-A-Figure was an awesome piece. Yeah, that's a tough one to find now. I don't have that one. And that's the shirt if you didn't get a good look at it. People have been asking me about it all night. And again, that's, this was one of those promo shirts that I got from my comic book days in the 90s, because it was they gave them to people at the comic shops, the image.
Robert David has the Richard Simmons figure from NECA.
Yeah, I do.
Not the Golden Girls, though, but no, he does have the Richard Simmons Golden Girls. One.
I had this idea of popping his head off and putting it on some of the Mezcos. Richard Simmons, like on John Wick's body with the guns. I get Bob Ross to go with him, and then the two of them could be like teaming up.
Jughead, G.I. J, a real world citizen hero.
Yeah, there you go. World citizen.
Yeah. But we were talking the other day about buying things, not just action figures or toys, but anything. Buying it online versus buying it in the store. And how you feel about getting up, going to the store to buy stuff. When you can stay at home and you can get on Amazon and pretty much buy any and everything out there. They even deliver groceries, or you can go to your local grocery store now, and they'll deliver the food for you. You got Instacart, you can buy all your clothes online now, shoes, tools.
People are lazy.
Yeah.
That's why.
But I mean, it's still good to go into a store, and so you can touch the stuff and you can look at it and get an idea. And how far is that going to go? Because it makes me think about that show, and I didn't like it, but I did watch it, and it does make a lot of sense. Idiocracy, where the people barely ever left the house. They just stayed home and just did whatever, and it was like, it seems like that's the direction that society is going.
As a throwaway society, they've been gearing us for that since the 1950s, and really, believe it or not, it started with TV dinners.
Yeah,
because the idea was to be able to not have to cook, dispose of everything when you were done, and that's just cascaded. And it actually, Idiocracy is a good example of that, because I remember the clothing in particular. He was done with his shirt, tear his shirt off and threw it in the trash, and opens up a drawer, and there's a bunch of them in there, and they're all shrink wrapped, and he just peels out a fresh one and puts it on. And it's like, you're not washing your clothes, you're not doing anything, you're just throwing it away. And we do a lot of that. We do a lot of that as a society. People throw instant gratification, throw everything away, nobody cares. They pretend to care. They love virtue signaling. They love to pretend to care about things, but they don't. Most people don't.
Yeah. And I mean, you see it in the collecting community, because you say, go to your local toy store, comic shop, you don't find anything, and then maybe you want some type of shoes. You go to your local shoe store, they're not there, but you sit down in front of that computer, you type it in, and on the shopping search you can find it, and you can sit there and compare prices.
What was a good example of that was on Sliders. Who remembers Sliders? And one of the episodes, they were on they had fallen into a reality where that was how things were done. People never left their homes. They lived in these gigantic apartment complexes. If they wanted anything, they'd punch it up, and it would be transported to them, and it would come out of a tube. They had like a platform in the wall. You open it up and you pull it out, and they just stayed there all day, and it was just wasting their time.
Robert says, I don't bother at the store. If I'm there, I'll look. Sometimes scary with store. If Walmart, Target gone, then what? If things scarce and don't want to send stuff to you, then what? Scary thought. Yeah, but that's how it feels like it's going. Hey, Zombie made it in.
Yeah, there you are.
TV dinners are nasty. You know, the thing that's so awful about TV dinners is it's never fully cooked. It's frozen, and then the edges are really, really hot and boiling, and then the middle is still frozen.
You'll bite it,
ice.
and it'll crunch, and then you'll burn your lip. Yeah, Fandom says he hasn't had a TV dinner in a long time.
I haven't had.
You're not missing much. You're better off. Yeah, Robert Slider, first few seasons are good, then they wiped out everyone. Yeah, people lost interest in the show and left, and they had to make up reasons for them to not be there anymore, basically.
Oh, wow.
But yeah,
I thought Sliders was a movie.
No, Sliders is a TV series.
TV show?
It was interesting. It was interesting because it made parodies of society, and one that matches with right now is the one where they landed on the planet where everybody was paranoid about getting sick, and the guy was in the restaurant and started coughing, and they called the police on him, and they drug him out of there kicking and screaming because everybody's like, oh, you're sick, you got it's just a cold, I'm just gonna sore throat, I swear. And the cops are dragging him out. No, please, it's just a cold.
Amazon will make smart houses at some point. They almost did already.
Yeah, they're trying.
You got the smart locks, the temperature. They control your TV sound system, your refrigerator, and you can tell Alexa, lock up the house or put the house in nighttime mode, and they'll lock the door, turn down the temperature gauge, turn your TV off, turn off the lights. It sets your alarm. I mean, it does everything. But then it's like, okay, do you want all that in your house? And then the power goes out, and now you can't get in the house.
Yeah, now you're helpless.
You can't adjust your temperature because it runs by Wi-Fi. And
they do that so that they can mess you up anyways. I don't know if you realize this, but in those smart cars, if you're being pursued, if it's set up for it in whatever county you're in whatever state, the pursuing police car can shut your car off. So they can lock onto your car, talk to you through your stereo to tell you to pull over, and if you don't comply, they can shut your car off. And I'm not saying, okay, try to outrun the police or whatever, but do you really want them having that kind of authority for just anything?
I love when you used to be able to go to the store and find some goods that you've been looking for. That was Kenny said that. Yeah.
I think they're doing it on purpose. I think they're shorting stores on purpose to force online purchasing because it's just cheaper for them than to maintain the store.
Yeah, the building, the employees, the utilities, you know.
And they're getting rid of these employees. I mean, the Amazon is bragging about how they're raising some employee. Well, first they have the stigma of everybody hating them anyways, because their warehouses are supposed to be terrible places to work. And I have some experience with that with UPS. Terrible place.
David worked at UPS.
Terrible place to work. But they're bragging, oh yeah, we're raising prices, right? We're not raising prices, but we're raising our rates of what we pay. But they're getting rid of people. They got robots now that can climb up and down those racks and pull things out of the bins and put them onto another robot cart. So they're eliminating jobs to replace to raise those wages. Sooner or later, nobody's going to be working in there.
Yeah, George Orwell, 1984. Mm-hmm. That was a good movie. That and
good movie and a good book.
Good book. What was the other one with where those people lived like in a really controlled it seemed like it was a spaceship, but it wasn't. And then they can go out on their little vacations to different places.
Brave New World.
Brave New World. That's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I worked with the UPS. I loaded the cans.
Yeah.
Canada, Wally is supposed to get more self checkouts to eliminate.
We were in one that only had 2 actual checkouts left. Do you remember? I don't remember where that was, but we were
going south.
Were we in South Carolina?
I had to been.
It was
somewhere.
I counted them. There were 28 self-checkouts and 2 actual registers in the middle, and they were closed. And I was like, holy crap, it's all self-checkout. And they had one person on each side running back and forth, maintaining like 14 over here and 14 over here. And I was like, wow, they've eliminated everybody. And they've got, their floor cleaning machines now, because they don't have anybody riding a gondola anymore. They've gotten rid of the person who does the stock checking. They got that robot with the scanning arm that goes up and down. Yeah, they're getting rid of a lot of that stuff.
There is really no toy store conveniently near me owned by people I like. I have to admit, I enjoy opening a big box of stuff that is delivered to me. I'll make a trip if I like the people at the store.
That's Jughead.
Yeah.
And another topic of discussion, because I touched a nerve when I said it in our last discussion video, that the problem with a lot of these, like you go to the toy shop or the comic shop, and people are always pressing you, oh, don't buy online, don't go to eBay, support your local toy shop or whatever. And most of them suck, and they are not good places to go. You don't get good prices. The person who owns it, they don't act right. They treat you poorly, or they ignore you. What I had alluded to that, and I got a ton of feedback in the comment section with people that were complaining about their local toy stores and comic shops for the very reasons that I brought up, and they wanted me to do a further discussion on it, because it's not all fun and games in there. You want to go in and have a good experience, and it's just like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, they don't know anything.
I don't know. Yeah, they don't know nothing about what they're doing in there. The prices are crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is not a good experience. This isn't fun.
Last weekend, we went to Best Buy, and we went to a certain one because they had, we were buying a speaker system, and they had it at that store. And we walked into that store, and it was full of stuff, unlike the other Best Buys. And it was just what you wanted. And we were talking to the guy, and the guy actually knew,
and we were shocked. We almost wish we could tip him.
Yeah.
Because and we've been to other Best Buys, and they don't know nothing.
They don't know nothing. They looking stuff up online, and I'm like, I already saw that.
Yeah.
I'm here in the store.
And they just read what's on it.
Yeah.
They don't know. We've been seeing that. We've been seeing Home Depot, Lowe's. Nobody knows nothing. You ask anybody anything, they got to go find the guy who's going to find the guy that finds the guy that might know something. It's ridiculous now.
Yeah, but that guy, and I told him, I was like, wow, we've been coming, and you actually know something. Yeah. You know what we're talking about. And gave us suggestions and recommendations. It's like, well, if you do this, you get that, and you do that, and it's like, wow, dude, you actually know something. And it just felt great. And that's why I like going to stores for that reason. I want to look at what I'm going to buy. I want to talk to the person that's there, and I want them to know, at least have an idea of what I'm talking about, not look at you like you're crazy. Oh yeah, but we used to go to a toy store around here. We stopped going to because we didn't like the people. So we stopped going because they were just like kind of off. So we quit going.
Yeah, he was not a pleasant guy.
I saw some carded Star Wars episode. Oh, this is Gamer. Hey Gamer.
Average Gamer.
Star Wars
episode
1 figures at my local thrift store. Wow. The ones with the Comtech feature. What's the coolest carded action figure you found at a thrift store?
Did I ever find a carded action figure at a thrift store?
No, not that I know of. I know I never found
Best
one.
I can do is I found a boxed Johnny West at a thrift store once in Boston, and that was in the 90s though.
Did you ever see the movie Fortress? It's about overpopulating a crime.
No, but that sounds...
overpopulation being a crime.
That's, what that sounds like. Oh yeah, we did see Fortress.
That's the one where you couldn't have kids, and then the people had a baby, and they
were put in. Fortress was a jail, and they were jailed for... the woman was jailed for being pregnant.
Yeah, but her and her husband had sneak out.
Yeah, they escaped.
We saw that.
We saw that.
Oh,
we saw that.
Okay.
ZPG is another good one like that. Zero population growth. Zero population growth. It was a British film from the 70s, and it's kind of like that, and it's pretty good.
Zombie wants you to do a comic book shop review. Same. I wouldn't support Walmart, guys. Pretty evil company.
They all are.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those big ones are. They all got agendas. They all exploit their employees. I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid.
The robot. I think you're exactly right. They're doing it on purpose. Yeah.
They're shorting that because it's just from their perspective, it's cheaper to ship it to you than it is to deal with the store. And if you're ordering through the store and picking up, then you're getting charged a fee. So that's compensated for. But as far as like going to the store and finding stuff, it costs more for them to maintain the store than it would be for them to maintain a warehouse and just throw it in a van.
Steven was wanting to know, what's the worst job you ever had?
Physical labor job. Or
job, period.
Okay, be quiet. You're awful. Because
he's gonna break it down and give you 4 different jobs.
No, physical labor intensity was working in the warehouse at UPS. It's relentless. The management is bad. They're not honest about how it's done. They tell you 3 trucks, you get 5. They oppress you constantly. They cheat you on breaks. It's terrible, and the pay was not great at all. It was barely above minimum wage when I was working there, and I know it's gone up, but big deal. It's still a crappy job. It's dusty. It's hot. And as far as like stress levels, it was when I worked for the Juvenile Justice Authority, when I ran the YRC2 facility, because the JJA hates those kids. They really don't care. They force you
Stone Sour, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Stone Sour.
Oh, pathetically alone eating his dinner.
Oh, you're not pathetic.
No.
But they really don't care about the kids. They pretend like they do because it's protocol. They make you jump through all these hoops for regulations. The kids don't like you either because they know they're being lied to by the JJA. The stress level's incredible, especially dealing with juveniles. They all don't want to be there. It was a lockdown facility. They don't want to be there. They don't want to cooperate. They don't want to listen. They don't want to do anything. But it's the only way to get them out of there. The stress level's incredible.
Mine, I worked at Union Pacific for some years, and that was the worst job. The people, because I worked in management, and the
backstabbing.
Yes, it was just a nightmare how evil and oppressive those people were. And it's like, they would intentionally, without secret, without hiding it, backstab you, so that you wouldn't be successful in your shift, knowing it was going to make their shift harder. But as long as you weren't able to succeed, you'll have an excuse. Well, because David didn't do what he had to do, it took me longer. I had to do his job and mine. And it's like, oh my God, come on.
And they don't really gain anything from it.
No, that you don't gain anything. It only makes your life harder. And it's like, why would you do that? We all got to be here for these super long hours. And then after the shift is over, they want to have meetings, and the meetings last like 2 and 3 hours. Sometimes you already been there 12 hours. And now I got to sit to a 2-3 hour meeting or training or something like that. And it's just like.
And it's a chain of sabotage because, you sabotage the next shift to make them look bad, but then they sabotage the next shift, and then the next shift sabotages the next one, because they're all trying to get even with somebody, and you're still going to end up picking up the load. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's when you know it's time to leave your job.
Yeah,
I know.
Really.
Yeah, and I did leave, and I'm grateful that I did, because it was just, well, at first I moved to another location where they didn't do that. Everybody just kind of worked together. Hey, this is everything that you need, and everything just worked well. And then eventually they had cuts and everything, and we all left. But oh boy, the first few years was just awful.
Yeah,
you got to pay them bill. Yes, that happens at my job. Third shift always leaves a mess for AM shift. So annoying. I know, and it's like, why do you want to bug people? You hate the job. Okay, most likely that other person hates the job too. But you don't have to make it just the hardest thing.
That used to happen to me at Frito-Lay. The guy from third shift used to mess something up, but you could catch it quick. You knew he was going to do it. And so you would look at the stats really quick, because you had readouts for all of the kitchen equipment. And I used to run the machines. I used to make the chips. And it's a huge operation, a lot of robots, a lot of machinery. But anyway, you could look at the stats, you look at the chart and watch the wave, and then suddenly the temperatures like that, and he changed something. He added too much water. He increased or decreased water, or increased or decreased the heat or something to mess you up, and you just change it back to where it was real quick after he left, and it would be okay. But he got some people real good. I remember he got oh God, what was his name? There was one guy who took my place and didn't realize. I told him, watch out, check everything before you get started, because he messes with people, right? And he didn't check the valves. So he did a corn transfer, and they had like up in the ceiling, there's huge corn hoppers. It's got thousands of gallons of like cooking corn up there. And when one is empty, you switch to the next hopper so that the chip machine doesn't stop going. It's making Doritos or corn chips or, whatever you're making, right? But the valve on the floor was open. So when he opened the hopper, the corn poured out of the valve onto the service floor instead of transferring into the pipe. But you're talking about like 5,000 gallons of liquid corn and spending the next 4 hours shoveling it into bins to clean up the mess. It's like, and he's like, God damn.
That's just ridiculous.
He was so mad at that guy, and I don't blame him. But you can't prove he really did anything either.
Nate P., I work at Valley Thrift Store in Fairfield, Ohio, and carded figs being donated is a rarity, but vintage toys come through every day. Once I got a box of 35 LGN wrestlers, Star Wars, and G.I. Joe vehicles all at the same time. Wow, that's good
cool.
find.
Did you get your hands on that?
Yeah.
Or did you have to put it on the floor?
Yeah, that's when you just go pay for it. You buy it yourself.
Yeah.
You get that employee discount.
Robert says sometimes Frito-Lay smells of feet, or is that my imagination? Sometimes Subway had that smell too. Maybe it was the dough. It might be the Mylar. And also, you know, the chip bags, there's not air in those bags. They fill those bags with ozone.
What does that mean?
They no, not ozone, nitrogen. They fill the bag with nitrogen. So there's not actual air.
Yeah.
There's no oxygen in there to keep the chips from breaking down. So the bag is on a thin sheet of Mylar. That's actually Mylar, like the balloons that you get at Dollar General or whatever.
Yeah.
And when the chips dump in there, it sprays nitrogen in there and then hot seals the top and then cuts it off. There's a lip that snaps those off. So that might be that smell.
Jughead wants to come back as a cat to a loving home. He wants to be reincarnated as a cat, but he wants to go to a loving home.
Oh, that's rare, actually. As many cats get dumped out here, there aren't too many loving homes, I don't think.
Yeah, and then now it's 4 of them living in our yard.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. There was the one cat, I think I mentioned it before. There's one cat that was hanging out on the porch. He had been hanging out on the porch for a couple of weeks. He was a long-haired black cat, and he was eating the food, sleeping on the porch, and then he disappeared for like, what, 3 days or something like that? 3 or 4 days. We didn't see him, and I was like, oh, I hope he's okay. I don't know what happened to him, because he's been hanging around for a while. Then Thursday, we see him coming into the yard with a female and 2 kittens in tow. And the kittens look just like him. They got the same exact markings. Long hair, black, with white hind legs and a white chin, just like Dad. And so, they all 4 come up on the porch and start eating out of the bowls that were out there. And they're still out there. They're in the wood pile in the back of the house. And I'm like, okay, so Kitty was hanging out on the porch and hanging out in the backyard, basically scoping the place out to see if it was safe to go find his family and bring him back here. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
So now they live out in the backyard, and the cats were in the yard this
morning. And they're little.
The
kittens are like this.
Yeah, they're out there playing.
There's only 2 of them. But, you know, they're still back there. They've been back there since Thursday, and you can see them peeking out from the woodpile, like looking, and because you can't get near them. I can get within 5 feet of Dad because he's used to me going out on the porch, and he'll back up, so he'll stay within about a 5-6 foot distance. The other ones scatter, obviously, because they don't know who I am. But, you know, still, that was just weird. Yeah. I was like, wow, he went back and found his little cat family and brought him back.
Kaiser says Subway meat turned him off from eating there anymore. I got turned off when they couldn't figure out what the tuna was. They tested the tuna and found out that it's not fish. It's not meat.
Yeah, it's not. They don't know what it is.
Yeah, they have no idea.
There's a lawsuit right now because independent laboratories in different states have been testing their tuna and cannot determine what it is. They said it's not even seafood, and they're not sure what it is yet. And Subway says that's not true, but something is wrong. Something is really wrong.
And it came up in the news again recently, like within the last 2-3 weeks, that they're continuing to do studies, sending it to different places, and nobody can figure out what this so-called tuna is.
Counterfeit tuna fish.
And only thing I used to eat at Subway was the tuna sandwich. David eats the veggie sandwich, but now who knows what it is, so I don't
know what that is, because you know they counterfeit food, and China has been known for doing that. They counterfeit cooking oil. Yeah. It's not really cooking oil. And counterfeit rice.
I don't know why you want to counterfeit rice. Jughead says that it's tuna and salt and green.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it is. Robert, it's people. It probably is. Who knows? Gamer, in your collection, do you have loose duplicate figures that you have decided to army build?
Yeah. My raw G.I. Joes. and this is from when I was a kid, because remember, nobody gave me anything. I had to buy the stuff myself. I actually got a bunch of the Cobra bad guys. So I have, like, I think 10 of the bats, and I have a bunch of the Techno Vipers. I have like a half a dozen Techno Vipers and maybe 6 or 8 Vipers, but I can't display them because I'm holding on to them for when I get a Terradrome.
But then that's what back to what we were talking about with the Super 7 reaction figures, because with the reaction figures they have those generic GI
Soldiers,
Joe,
which I don't think that's ever been done before.
Right,
Yeah.
but you can buy just those to fill out your collection. Like if you have some vehicles or play sets, you can use them along with the original ones to, kind of fill it out some.
Yeah, they could stand in the background like on the cartoon.
Yeah.
Because that was the actual regular GI Joe army, and the people that you watched, the Raw people, were specialists.
Yeah, they did.
But
they
had the generic GI Joe people that all wore the exact same uniform, and you never really saw them except running around in the background or driving vehicles.
Stone Sour says in his area, a local restaurant got busted for serving horse as beef.
Hi, you're awake?
Yeah. She finally got up. That's not good at all because, I mean,
Poor horsey.
Yeah, your horse is your friend. It's like a dog.
Is it?
They counterfeit German cheese. Can you believe that?
Yes.
I would counterfeit German beer instead. Everything. I mean, toys,
if there's a market
books,
for it,
paintings.
Somebody's going to counterfeit it.
If somebody's willing to buy it and pay for it. Oh, this is the one that y'all rarely ever see, the female one.
Yeah, this is the girl. This is the one that, she lived in our backyard for like 2 years and would not come near us. I mean, if she saw me from like 30 feet away, she would run into the woods. And one day she just come up on the porch and hung out, and then she invited herself in, and now she won't leave. She just stayed put. And she's kind of a sad story because she's the one that has the smashed up leg.
Yeah, she won't let you touch it to see it.
Yeah, her leg was broken at some point, like maybe 2 years ago, best estimate, and it grew back on its own, and it's deformed, and it can't be fixed. And when she walks like this now.
Robert says that he want to do sometimes. A lot he would like to do the manly stuff like fishing, but I think I'll be dead since I don't know fishing.
Oh, yeah.
What is White Castle beef? Kangaroo meat? I never ate at White Castle.
I never ate at White Castle either.
It's none around here, so.
I heard there's a lot of weddings there.
Yeah, we've
seen to get married in a castle.
The White Castle, the McDonald's wedding.
Oh,
you can look on YouTube and see all those different
McDonald's
weddings.
Does cater weddings.
Yeah, and you can get the Happy Meals like at the birthday when you had your McDonald's birthday.
Big tray.
Yeah, of Happy Meal burgers and stuff.
God. I bet it ain't cheap either. But can you imagine? I'm gonna get you married in a castle, baby.
You ever had a McDonald's birthday?
No,
I never had.
I never had a birthday.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, I never had a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
But
I had birthday parties, but never at McDonald's.
I did the McDonald's birthday for Toby.
I've been to one McDonald's birthday party. What's the most exotic meat you have ever tried? No. I don't think. I stick to the stuff I know.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know? What's the most exotic meat you've ever tried?
I don't know.
Kaiser says
nothing.
That,
I eat all the regular stuff.
Kaiser doesn't like sliders.
They're pure vomit. Frog legs. Gamer ate frog legs before.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. People do eat frogs' legs. I don't know about that though.
Mm-hmm. So
indeed.
He's sick after 2. of them. Wow.
Sheep
My mom's
brains.
parents eat sheep brains.
Are
I
they
never heard of that.
Are they in Western Europe?
They eat that in Western Europe?
Well, especially like Ireland and the UK, they eat a lot of that kind of stuff, like blood pudding and
Yeah.
weird things. Also, a couple of
Oh yeah, you wanted to
yeah, a
show
couple
some
of things,
stuff. David wanted to show a couple of things.
upcoming things for the
Mm-hmm.
other videos. I will be doing a showcase of the Mattel 1980 Toy Fair catalog coming up this week. I'm going to do a showcase of the Mattel 1980 Toy Fair catalog. For those of you who are into the Toy Fair catalog videos, a lot of cool stuff in there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
1980 Toy Fair. And, for that genre of people that are really into this kind of stuff. And I will also upcoming, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it this week, but I'll do another toy showcase. With the last one I did was the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood musical trolley from Ideal 1977. I will also be doing the 1976 J.J. Arms. The J.J. Arms, who was a real person. This is a real person. He's still alive, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's the guy you said lost his arm because he was helping rescue somebody.
I don't remember what he was doing. No. You're mixing the stories up.
Oh.
He lost his hands when he was 11, and he became a private investigator.
But didn't he find the celebrity lost son?
Yeah, I think it was Robert Redford's son was kidnapped, and he found the kid, and I think that's what made him famous. He was also, I think he did either investigative or bodyguard work for Elvis too.
Oh wow!
So yeah, he was back when we were kids, and real people were interesting instead of just fictional ones. That's why Ideal made Evel Knievel. But
Nate says last week it was 10 Exo Squad mechs and 3 of the vehicles that go with it, all in perfect shape. Can't pass up stuff. So I guess he bought 10 Exo Squad and 3 vehicles that go with it.
I used to have the Exo Squad action figure series.
Oh,
they came in this nice box with a flip up front. They were interesting figures. They were little action figures, but they came with the vehicle. And I used to have like the first couple of waves of that from Playmates, right? It was part of the collection I lost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was an interesting show too, because of course 80s, or no, this was 90s. I'm sorry, early 90s. There was still the era of having like a cartoon show associated with the toy line.
Yeah.
And now they've merged it with Robotech. But I don't know too much about that. And Johnny seems excited about the idea of another catalog tour. Yeah, I try to do those every once in a while. I don't want to do too many, but because it's an acquired taste. Some people like it, but it doesn't get too much interest.
Hold on. Oh, Stone Sour says that J.J. Arms lives like 10 minutes away from him.
Really?
In a gated community.
Okay.
And Jughead says, are you saying Batman isn't a real person?
Hey, listen, there's 493 billionaires in the world right now, and not one of them has the coconuts to become Batman. Just saying.
Him and Tony Stark was a
yeah, Tony Stark too
was a billionaire.
Not one of these guys has the coconuts to be Iron Man,
or don't know how to build equipment. Because he built his suit.
They may not be able to pull off Iron Man, but they could definitely do Batman. So excuses.
I don't know if the world could handle like a superhero in that scale, like nothing like with powers. Like Batman, he didn't have powers, but he was able to do things. Like can the world handle like a Batman, even a Tony Stark as Iron Man? If a person came up with the suit,
yeah,
like literally came up with an Iron Man suit, Could they pull it off? Would they be accepted by the world? Would the world accept a Batman?
The world would accept it. The government would not. The government, unlike on the comics, the government would not stop until they put an end to it. Period. They would squash that.
Who's richer, Bruce or Tony? What other superhero was like a commoner?
A commoner?
Yeah, like Batman is a common guy.
Oh,
Tony Stark is they don't have powers.
Because
you know what I'm saying?
commoner implies they're poor.
Yeah, but, I mean common as far as they didn't have powers. Everybody else pretty much has powers.
Fool killer.
Yeah.
Fool killer didn't have any powers. He had a ray gun. I don't know.
Oh, Punisher, yeah.
Yeah, the Punisher.
Brandon says Punisher, yeah. But Punisher was like a vigilante almost. Daredevil
had abilities.
He had like super sensitive ears.
Well, yeah, he could practically see because it was like full on sonar.
Yeah.
The Mandarin, because his power was the rings. Without the rings, he was nothing. I mean, there's a few out there. People know.
David, did you hear on the news some guy was seen in California with a jetpack? I think it was about around 3,000 feet. What's that? Oh, the Evel Knievel bike?
No, it's just something from the
Green Hornet, Blue Beetle, Doc Ock. Daredevil TV show was so good.
Yeah.
I did like the Netflix version of Daredevil.
Yeah.
That one, I was good. We saw a couple of movies. How many movies we saw? 2 Daredevil movies.
Daredevil movies?
Yeah.
There was one Daredevil film, and it was from the early 2000s.
I'm thinking about Punisher. Never mind. No, we never saw a Daredevil
Punisher's
movie.
had 3 films.
Yeah, but we saw 2.
We saw 2. You did not see the one from the 80s with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. Dr. Manhattan was the only Watchman to have powers. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Green Arrow had no special powers. And Captain Video and his Video Rangers. Who's Captain Video?
Oh, man. That sounds familiar. Careful.
Where you going? Go ahead. Who is Captain Video?
Captain Video. Man, that sounds familiar.
Oh, you forgot who Captain Video
Yeah,
is.
it sounds real familiar, though. Zombie says he digs the catalog reviews, too.
But see, all of the names...
somebody does.
All of the people we just came up with that you hardly ever hear of, they could do shows, TV shows, cartoons, movies about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they still rehash the same people, Spider-Man and Superman.
Dr. Octopus was a Spider-Man villain.
No, but what I'm saying is they can bring up these people.
Some of these guys, though, like Green Hornet, they've attempted to bring Green Hornet back. They did it as a film not too long ago, and the film wasn't that great.
Oh.
It's one of those older properties that it's hard for them to bring back now. And there's been attempts, like aside from Green Hornet, there's also been the Green Hornet. There's been the Phantom. They tried to bring the Phantom back. They tried to bring Dick Tracy back, and they tried to bring the Shadow back in the 90s. And those are old properties. And nowadays they hardly exist.
Stone Sour says Black Widow had no special powers, but still managed to have the best movie ever.
Oh, yeah.
Raku, yes, Ed Norton's favorite show, G.I. Joe, had no special powers. He was so funny with that helmet. Richard Brandt.
They had the power of being able to dodge every shot ever fired at them. Taking that trip to Pluto, huh?
Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers. Flash Gordon, that's not the Flash?
Flash Gordon. No, Flash Gordon is someone else, yeah. And again, those two are really old properties. And I don't think Buck Rogers has been done right since Gil Gerard did it. And the Flash Gordon movie in the 80s was fun also. Kaiser
says, which hero would realistically work? Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's
Which
the
one would
problem.
realistically, like, Batman would work? Because I mean, he didn't, like, again, he didn't have powers. I mean, he used a grappling hook and he raised himself up.
Yeah,
He had these vehicles that pretty much did a lot of stuff, but the vehicles could be done.
yeah,
You know what I mean? He had suits, you
yeah.
know,
And
but
that's actually kind of what the film Last Action Hero is making fun of
oh
with
yeah,
Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he was indestructible on screen, but
hmm
the dimensional shift that brought him into reality, trying to do the same stuff that he was doing when he was the action hero, it
hmm
was killing him. It's like he tries to pull the guy up from the side of the building and dislocates his shoulder and all this other stuff, and he's like, "Why is this so hard?"
Yeah, Tony Stark would work too. I think
Uh-huh.
if they were able to make the suit and somebody was to be able to get in the suit and do all of that stuff.
And we're getting there too, because you can see some of the stuff that they've done with the jetpacks, and somebody was
hmm
mentioning earlier, a guy flying over California, I think it was. But they have those things now, and now they've gotten to where you have the hand pods to direct
Yeah.
it, and
hmm
because there's been jetpacks since like, oh, when, the late 60s,
Oh,
because they
really?
started using them commercially in the 70s. They used the jetpack for the first Super Bowl. The guy landed in the middle of the stadium. And then that show Arc 2, the live action Saturday morning show that
hmm
was on CBS in the 70s,
hmm
they bought a jetpack for that show that the guy would use in every episode.
I know they have that. I guess it's called a hovercraft, where it just raises you up off of the ground, maybe about 5 feet,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you just kind of hover there.
yeah,
I've seen that.
yeah. The hovercrafts have been around for a while too.
Yeah, and then they had that board that when they advertised that board, it was supposed to hover, but then it never did.
It
So
was a
then
lie.
it just skates around. You could just kind of skate on it. But now they kind of redid it and it's supposed to hover.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that.
hmm
And if they ever did make something like that, it'd be a long time before it made it to commercial use of any kind. Yeah, see, that's what Kaiser's saying right there. Most of that tech the government just won't release to the public. If it
Yeah,
exists, you won't know for a long time. The government had, or the army had accidentally discovered microwave ovens
yeah.
while experimenting with radar in the 40s. And how long was it before microwave ovens came out?
Like the 70s.
Yeah, I think so, right? It was
Yeah.
like the late 70s before that technology actually hit.
And then it
Um,
cost so much.
yeah, and back then it was a fortune.
Yeah, now you can go down to Goodwill and get a microwave for $5.
Yeah, and then it'll blow up. But you can get one real cheap at Walmart.
So Elon Musk isn't quite Tony Stark, huh? Not until he
No,
put that suit on.
no. And he says, "It's me. I'm Eon, or not Eon,
Elon.
Elon."
His
I
name
see. I
is
got them mixed up.
Elon.
Maybe the bank will mix our names up.
Mm.
And
They'll find you fast. Has anyone ever seen TV show An Idiot Abroad? They
I don't
had
think
one
so.
of those in an episode. No, I never heard of that show. Living in Atlanta, have you guys ever tried to be an extra on a show Walking Dead, or know anyone that has tried? I've
No.
heard people say they've tried it. I've never done it.
Yeah.
When I've met some people that said that they worked on the set, in the back, on the set, in the on the background, in the, like, the lunch cafeteria, lunch tent, and doing other things on the tent. But I've never known anybody to actually do it, and we've never tried to be extras on any show.
Yeah.
hmm The Greatest American Hero.
Oh God.
He helping you out.
Stone Sour. Dolan, yeah, Galactus is now 398. Go and pull that trigger. Oh man, come on. You tempted me there because like I was saying, between the Galactus and the Mezco Fantastic Four, they would scale. And
Yeah.
that would make a great display for photographs. And I was just like, oh, geez, come on, man.
Hey,
Come
Gilgamesh.
on, man.
you,
Gilgamesh is
you
here.
finally made it. We were looking for you. Kaiser, they had special fighter jets in the works in the 80s that were made 10 years prior. Yeah. Like action figure film, like flat screen TVs. They were pricey at first, but you can get them now for like, and now they got the 8K, because while we were in Best Buy last week, we saw the 8K TV
already. Yeah,
8K. So right now we're all on 4K, so now it's going to be 8. And then we saw the KFC little drone van that comes around and serves you food that works on the 5G.
Yeah.
We saw that.
Yeah, that's coming up. I'll show this here. We can, catch up a couple of these. Gilgamesh says he was at Galactic Quest. Excellent.
Oh, so what?
It was a convention.
Okay. Galactic Quest in Lawrenceville, here in Georgia. Oh, the comics, Galactic. Oh, we've been there. We've been to that one.
Yeah, Toylanta. This year's Toylanta already passed, but the next one is in what, March?
March 2022. Yeah, we got the flyer for it somewhere.
I'll show you this image, and this is what we're talking about here. Oh, that's what they were. Yeah, you see that? That's the KFC van. This kind of stuff is what the 5G was really created for. Mm-hmm. It's not about giving you better phone service or whatever. It's because it's a better network for these autonomous drone vehicles to drive around, and those are being tested right now. And it's basically like a little tiny van, and they load it at the restaurant, and it drives around, and it's to replace DoorDash and all of those other delivery services. They're trying to get rid of them.
Jughead says microwave is why men don't get married anymore.
Oh yeah. Don't you two start.
Yeah, we went to Galactic Quest Comics in Lawrenceville, and they have another store in Beaufort, Georgia, because they have 2 stores, and we went to both of them. That's a pretty decent store. I forgot about that one because we only went once, and it was a long time ago.
You all saw that, right? There. How he walked all the way around the perimeter of the room to get over to the window because she's over here blocking him. See, there's her head.
Yeah, now he got to walk under the desk.
Yeah, now he's crawling under us to go back out again because she's trying to keep him away from the window.
But they don't want to hear about that.
She's not even using it.
They don't want.
They love the cats.
They want to hear about Galactic Quest comics. Yeah, we went there before. That's actually a pretty decent toy store. I forgot about that one.
Action Figure Phil wants to know, when is Mezco going to give you a Mighty Mouse figure? It would be pretty cool. Anything Mighty Mouse. You can't even find those on video. If you buy Mighty Mouse videos, it's in a collage of other vintage animation. It's a bunch of old shows and a couple of Mighty Mouse in there. But I would love to find a complete collection of Mighty Mouse. I used to watch that when I was a kid, but those were pretty violent shorts from the movie theater. It weren't really meant for kids, like most of those shows. Popeye, movie theater shorts. Warner Brothers, movie theater shorts. What was the other one? The Flintstones. That was a primetime show for adults. Mm-hmm. They just let kids watch it because they figured we didn't know what we were looking at anyway. And true enough, we didn't. But Mighty Mouse is a property that they have really sat on for decades. Mm. It's hard to find anything Mighty Mouse.
Kaiser, well, no, Robert thinks that you can be a stunt double for Negan.
Yeah, I get that Negan bit a lot. Negan, or I used to get Bruce Campbell sometimes.
Yeah, and Lorenzo Lamas.
The Lorenzo Lamas story was funny though.
Some old lady thought he was Lorenzo Lamas.
That was in the 90s.
And I don't think so, because I used to watch Falcon's Crest.
And I'm thinking of Lorenzo Lamas from The Renegade, shirtless with a leather vest. Yeah, that was me.
But, Kenny had to go. Bye.
Oh, I'm sorry. See you later, Kenny. But it was actually, I was working in Bradley, so I'm wearing the Bradley's vest, and I got the holster with a big price gun on me, and these 2 old ladies are creeping up to me. I'm serious. And like I know, like, you can tell they want to ask you something, right? Mm-hmm. And I figure, okay, they want to know where something is, where's bedding, I don't know. and they say, "Excuse me, are you Lorenzo Lamas?" And and I was like, "Shh, we're filming." And then they were like, "Oh," and they tottered off. And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god! I can't believe you did that.
You bet I did.
Anyway, Gilgamesh said he enjoyed the toy shop. Now, because Gilgamesh said he lived in Athens, and we were in Athens a few months ago. We were somewhere. We ended up in Athens, and we went to a comic book shop. You remember that one? You had to go upstairs, and it was like a little house almost.
I remember.
And he had all those rooms.
And it was like a homeless person like camped out at the foot of the stairs in a little. They were knocked out in a sleeping bag.
Yeah. We went to that one in Athens, and it was okay. It was a lot of comic because it was a comic book shop. They had a ton of Super 7 stuff, and it was in like the downtown area where the shops were, and you had all of the eat out dining and all of that stuff. I don't know what the name of it was.
I don't remember. Oh, I remember thinking to myself, because even the ceiling was caving in one of those rooms, and I was like, "Wow, what's the humidity level in here?" Because this is all pulp. It's all comic books. It's gonna be ruined.
Have you guys ever subscribed to any comic book? No. I just got some comic books in. Well, I ordered the Dark Shadows collection, and it's 5 volumes. One came today, and I actually found a lot on eBay.
Yeah.
So
the Dark Shadows omnibus.
Yeah, and I found a lot on eBay.
Oops.
So I'll have that. And like I told y'all before, I have the Swamp Thing. David is a big comic book, but he don't read new comic books, only the old ones.
Older ones I'll look at. And what Robert says is later Speed Racer episodes are pretty violent with machine guns. Some of that stuff is. But again, a lot of that, even in anime, in the culture in Japan, it's not for kids. It wasn't for kids. Nate P, your cat is punking the other one. Haha, all the female pets in my house rule the roost as well. They do it to each other, though.
Yeah, it's like half back and forth.
Because sometimes he'll have her cornered pretty good. It just depends on the mood.
Yeah, sometimes she got him. She's chasing him down the hall. Other times he backs her into the corner and then holds her there.
Yeah, won't let her move. Stuff. Yeah, they do that stuff all the time. Master Maniac says, heard Hasbro kicked out of Galactus, but haven't seen him. Maybe next week on the Toy News. Let's see what David has to present us.
We showed it.
Just showed it on this morning's weekly roundup. The HasLab 32-inch Galactus.
Yeah, it looks good. The coloring and everything. I don't know why they use plastic though, or it should be more metallic-y looking.
I guess it's very got a real good curvy feel to it. So it fits.
Leander is here. I want to hear about the cats.
Yeah, the Landros. I want to hear about the cats. Any truth to figures being left in the open causes oxidation and color wear? Should they be in cabinets? Help, please. The color changes are going to come from UV light. So if you can cut off sunlight and you're not using UV lamps, or you at least can totally dark the room when you're not there, will help to prevent color fade. And wear on the oxidation in the costuming is tied mostly to humidity. Mm-hmm. So if you can keep that, and that's why we have in our museum the dehumidifiers going all the time, because if you can pull that moisture out of the air, it's less likely to absorb too much moisture and then dry out and crack and flake apart, which happens to a lot of artificial leather on like Mezcos and Hot Toys and all sorts of action figures like that.
Yeah. A lot of woke garbage in comics, manga is dominating sales.
Yeah, people are getting fed up with a lot of that.
Hi, Fabio.
Good to see you again. Yes, indeed. Glad you could join us. And Jughead said, who would win in a fight, Mighty Mouse or Superman? Superman. It's a mouse. Hopefully they wouldn't fight.
Robert, just a fan. You know what baffles me? Seeing a huge line at Toys R Us for Phantom Menace or Attack clones figures at 6 a.m. in the morning. I never did that.
Yeah, and the first time I started seeing that kind of thing happening was during the original American release of Power Rangers, and it wasn't the Rangers figures; it was the dolls. The they had the two 12-inch dolls, one of the pink and one of the Yellow Ranger, that were released, and they were articulated dolls. Came in a little window box, about so big, and that's the first time I've seen adults wrestling in a store over dolls trying to get them. And the first time I saw somebody getting pissed off about an adult pissed off about stuff on the shelves, and it was a scalper. And this was in the early 90s. Kenner starting lineup basketball figures. He was looking for somebody specific, and he was throwing a fit. And this is a guy who looked like he was 60, cussing and pushing stuff and yelling at the employee. I know these are supposed to be here this morning, and this is obviously a fresh case that's gone up, and so-and-so's not in here, and I want to talk to the manager right now. He was so mad. And they went and they found a couple more cases, and he cherry picked them out, and he took like 4 of each of these 2 figures he was looking for and went and bought them. He obviously isn't buying those to collect them. That's the first time I remember seeing that. That was in the early to mid 90s.
Let's see, Brandon, do y'all dress the cats up? No.
No, we don't do that.
Average Gamer loves a Swamp Thing comic book, and he remember having a Swamp Thing with the trap as a kid in the 90s.
Yeah, she's got the whole Kenner Swamp Thing series.
Yeah, I lucked out. I got mine recently, but the prices were so cheap.
Yeah.
They haven't taken off yet, and a lot of them I got for under $30. The play figures I got all of them for under.
And now's
90,
the time for some of those 90s properties before they start escalating.
Except for Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles are up there.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles are up there. But there's a lot of other ones that are being basically ignored. Earthworm Jim, some of those Mighty Max play sets are still in pretty decent price range. Properties that, as time wears on, in the next 10 years or so, people are going to start going back and looking for them, because that was the end of the era for the action figure. Conan, the cartoon series figures are still pretty cheap. Skeleton Warriors is still pretty cheap. But people are looking to buy figure sets that might be interesting to them and don't have a huge budget for some of the blockbuster 80s IPs. Can probably look to some of the 90s stuff and maybe find something really interesting they hadn't thought of.
Yeah, and then also because, as you can see, with these TV producers and movie producers and directors, they're making all of these old shows, old cartoons, old movies, old TV shows. They're rehashing them, and then that causes the figures to go up. So if you can get on some of them now, especially the ones from the 90s, even 2000s, because 2000 was 21 years ago.
It's technically vintage now, guys.
Yeah. 2000 was 21 years ago. If you had a kid in 2000, they're 21 years old. They're going to be by the end of December.
Yeah, and then the or Stargate, the original movie figures, I think they're still pretty cheap. The second series, Land of the Lost, when they tried to reboot it, figures
is that the one
interesting.
We started watching, the Land of the Lost? It was the new one, and they had that female doctor that was annoying. I stopped watching.
I don't think so.
She got on my nerves.
I don't think so. But yeah, there's a lot of 90s action figure properties out there that have not gone over the waterfall yet, so to speak, and plunged into crazy prices like with a lot of the 80s properties.
Yeah.
And one that I'm always on about is the Playmates Ronin Warriors. Still haven't really gone up that badly either, and they've been re-released already by Bandai, and they're damn near 200 a piece retail. And I'm like, that's a far cry from what the original vintage figures are going for, and they're actually really nice looking figures. So yeah, look to some of those forgotten 90s properties before it's too late.
Yeah.
You know, not for investment purposes, but like I said, if you're looking for an action figure line, you might see something that you think's real interesting. It's like, hey, I kind of like that. I dig these. Before it ends up 5 times the price, and you're like, oh, I can't get these now. It's too late.
Gil Glamet said he read the entire original Max run. Kydra says, my mom said Cabbage Patch Kids were selling fast when she worked at the store.
Yeah, Cabbage Patches were a nightmare too, and then it died as fast as it came, just like Beanie Babies. But I never was at a store when Cabbage Patch went off, but I know people were fighting. Police had to guard stores during opening hours. It was crazy. But and then suddenly they're worthless. Nobody cares. It happens.
Zombie says that he went to episode 1 Zellers, is a Canadian retailer, midnight open to buy toys. Well, I waited till the next day. Man, there were so many Star Wars episode 1 stuff.
Yeah, back when they used to pack shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of that early 90s transitional Star Wars figures, because keep in mind it wasn't technically Kenner anymore, even though they were still under the Kenner banner. Hasbro owned them. They even have separate catalogs. Like I've got a 92 Kenner Toy Fair catalog, but they're not really Kenner. It's Hasbro now. But that stuff is still pretty inexpensive, a lot of it. Or the Playmates Star Trek or Playmates Sequest is still pretty cheap too.
Yeah. Lander says, thanks, David. Big time for answering my question regarding figures left in the open. What do you guys think of the Scareglow Mattel Creations exclusive? And next week it's time for the new show. They might do what they've been doing with Scareglow. For some reason, Scareglow is just like, even when Funko made it, Mattel Origins remade the Scareglow, and I want to say Super 7 did, and it was always expensive just because it's Scareglow.
Scareglow is just popular.
Yeah, but then how many times was he in the show? Like, was he ever in the cartoon, or was he in there like one time? Because we're watching, and Fisto is only in the show so far twice.
Yeah, we've seen him twice.
And Jitsu was in there once.
And so, Whiplash, I think, has been twice?
I think he was in there twice.
A lot of those characters, they were tossed into the show because figures were already made based off of the mini comic, and they told Filmation, "Hey, you see this one? Work it in because we're selling the toy."
Yeah.
So they're not developed characters.
Yeah, and now you got Scareglow. We saw the picture that, it was on the roundup.
It looks good. It was on today's roundup.
Yeah.
It looks decent, but Scareglow always looks good.
Yeah. And like I said, for some reason, Scareglow is always scarce. It always gets super big aftermarket, even the Funko one.
The Mondo one is like 4 times the price now. Yeah.
So they probably do the same thing with this one.
Yeah, they're
just because it's Scareglow.
Yeah.
So the price, we're selling it at $10.
Scalpers are gonna cherry pick.
Yeah, for like $300 on eBay.
Yeah.
Hold on, somebody nostalgia something I saw. Let's see.
We do try to keep up with the comments, guys.
But then when we try to slow it down,
we don't want you to feel left out.
Thor, what is your opinion on custom-made action figures, and do you think they have value when someone tries to sell it on eBay? Or the cons, example, would you buy a custom-made Superman?
I like the customs. They tend to be very expensive for the obvious reasons, because you get a guy who's doing it by hand. He's probably going to make 25 of them or 50. Yeah. There's not going to be that many. Aftermarket value, it's hard to say. Because if they're doing a custom of a figure like that one guy, God, I can't think of his name.
MFA?
Not MFA. Oh. He's talking about action figures.
Oh, action.
Anyways, MFA does statues, but yeah, he's another example of that. But there's this one guy, and he did like a Woody and a Buzz Lightyear
you showed me that
look like real people, he redid them to look like real people, and he did like Tintin and a few others that have never been done. And it's a very narrow niche of people looking for that. And then also, because they're not licensed to make that, they have no technical rights to the property. So if another company comes along and sees what they made, they can take it, completely copy it, and then copyright it and make it, and there's nothing that guy can do. They're out. But as far as aftermarket resale value, over time, I'm not sure that a lot of the customs are going to hold up too much, for the same reason a lot of the modern stuff probably isn't going to hold up too much, because it's just too much of it. There's too many choices. It's not about how many of a certain item has been made. It's a matter of, like, okay, let's take, say, a Smurf. Let's say 30 companies are making a Smurf. All right. It's too many to choose from. It doesn't matter which one's better than another. There's just too many. And how do you choose from that on a property that in the future maybe is dying off? Like some of the ones we brought up earlier, Buck Rogers in the 21st century, or 24th century, sorry. Yeah, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, The Shadow, all these old properties that they have not successfully been able to revamp over the last few years. They've tried to bring them back, tried to make a movie. They did a run of those movies in the 90s. They did Dick Tracy, they did The Phantom, they did The Shadow. People didn't really care. And so if we get to a point in the future where 50 years from now, it's Masters of the Universe, who cares? The people that do care, the only ones they're going to care about are going to be the originals.
Yeah.
You know, and so there's a lot to be said for all of that.
Okay, we're on Robert. I was so surprised when the prequels came out and the figures. Toys R Us lines were so long, even people staying overnight.
Talking about Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Zombie joined the Mighty Max and Dino Riders bandwagon. Some people think they have gold trying to sell these toys.
Dino Riders are cool.
Average gamer, you should do a video on the right way to pack Carter figures. I have to keep telling him that because we always get stuff.
No one will care. No one. Yeah, you know what I could do is, you know, that's a great way to really piss the seller off. Here, before you pack my item, I want to send you a link.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're trying to tell me."
You will get your item rolled up in a ball.
The right way. I'm gonna write it down. Because I've been telling him this every time we get something in the mail, and we got one in the mail this week, and we're gonna put the video up later, and it looked like somebody actually sat on it.
The box was completely crushed. Crushed and
luckily the figure was fine, because the person wrapped it up in bubble wrap, put it in a plastic bag. They did a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They knew what they were doing, fortunately, but I've been in situations where I even contacted sellers and said, you know, please do this, please don't do that. You know, sorry to be if I seem like I'm anal, it's real important to me that arrives in such and such condition, and they will do the opposite of what I said. Yeah. Because they do not care.
But you know what's annoying? Okay, you have a figure and it has a flap. Oh, like this one. Let me show you.
Yeah. That's a huge pet peeve of mine.
Has a flap. And in the eBay video, picture, the flap is standing straight up, all nice and pretty, just standing up. And then you get it and they fold it down and they tape it and they wrap it up real tight. And it's like, why did you put that flap down? It was up when you took the picture.
Yeah.
You didn't need to put it down just to fit it in that box.
Yeah, but they had a box that was only this big.
Yeah.
So they said, oh, if I turn it a little bit and then I fold this and I shimmy it down,
I'll make it fit.
And then they end up ruining the packaging. It's
and
like
I actually bought a figure like that. Well, I bought a figure, and you know, in the picture it was good, and the guy wrapped it up real nice and tight, and he made it fit into this makeshift box. And it was so hard to get out, and with all of the shifting and everything, the bubble came loose. And I contacted him. I'm like, look,
what
dude,
the hell?
the bubble wasn't loose in the picture.
And it was crushed.
Yeah, it was crushed. It was cracked.
That was on our last unboxing video.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
okay.
That was the Bolduc, right?
It was cracked.
Migo
Bolduc. Okay, let's see. David LPH, what's your opinion on Super 7 G.I. Joe Ultimates? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. David is on the fence about it.
Yeah.
But my thing, and I always say this about Super 7, you know.
Oh, Edwin Vasquez is in here now.
Oh, hey, Edwin.
Hey, Edwin, how you doing? We didn't see you until you just popped up because it's running behind.
Yeah, the thing that I always say about Super 7 is easy to get the figures, and that's what makes everything on Super 7 appealing to me. It's easy to buy. You have to wait a while, but you will get your figures. And now they sell it on Big Bad Toy Store. So it's not like you got to contend with everybody going to Walmart and Target and all of these other places, and then you haphazardly find it, you know. So, but I like the way it looks, because he was talking about how it's cartoon accurate. I like the
colors,
the colors, and also the reaction figures. They look pretty good. Was Fisto an original He-Man series?
Yeah, so far, because we're rewatching it now, and we're about a quarter of the way through the second series or second season, and he's only appeared twice so far. So barely.
Robert just is fan. I gotta admit, I love the 2000 He-Man, especially King Grayskull, Battle Lion, and the episode where Snake Mountain comes to life.
She's a fan of that show.
I'm a fan of that show, and we're gonna watch it again. I bought it on DVD because when we first saw it, we saw it on YouTube, and it was bits and pieces, and it wasn't the whole thing. Kaiju, the toy frenzy started with the Shirley Temple doll.
Yeah, there was a lot of interest in the Shirley Temple doll when she was popular, when she was still a movie personality.
Oh, really?
I heard she was a nightmare to work with, though. She was very arrogant as a child.
Let's see. Edwin wants to know, that he does like the Galactus, and have the Hero Clicks Galactus under $100. Okay.
Okay. Hero Clicks.
Okay. Help desk. Have you seen Cuties on Netflix? No, we haven't. We don't have Netflix.
I don't know what that is anyway.
Yeah. Raccoon Eyes. 3D printing is getting hot right now. Some people work it better than
Yeah, and we've seen some custom like 6th and 12th scale heads that are spot on. They are like flawless recreations, and much better than what some of the big companies are producing, actually.
Kaiju says he likes making custom figures that don't have a toy line. Now, I wouldn't mind buying a custom of a toy line that doesn't exist.
Like Logan's Run never had action figures.
Yeah. So, and we talked about, for our own personal collection, making custom card backs. Because some of the things you have, you want to put it on a card and trying to make custom card backs. And we talked about doing something like that, but I don't know how to even begin. We looked at videos, but
Zom says it's amazing how bad the parcels come to you guys.
Yeah,
sometimes we get it's either badly packed or badly delivered.
What? Raccoon Eye says she sold a. Hold on.
You lose your place?
Well, no. As soon as I started
reading. Did Mego do Logan's Run? I don't think anybody has ever done Logan's Run. I could be wrong, but I don't think anyone's ever done it.
Okay, hold on. We are going to give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Crumb, settle down. What are you upset about?
Okay.
Let me sort.
So let's now I was trying to read.
Come here. What's the matter?
The original Johnny Quest. Oh no. It was another one. Okay, hold on. It was something Raccoon Eyes was saying. Okay, raccoon eyes. I sold an unpunched carded figure and I secured the top with extra cardboard so the punch wouldn't pop off. The person wrote me and said, thanks for protecting the card. Yeah, and I do that too. If the person takes extra steps, like I got something in this week and it was storming outside and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get home, the box is going to be soaked, the figure's going to be ruined. And then the box was wet, but once I opened it up, the person put um they put the figure in a plastic bag, like a plastic trash bag. It was bubble wrap, it was in a plastic trash bag, it was taped up really nice so it didn't get wet at all. And I sent the person a message telling them, thank you for taking that extra step, because it was pouring down rain, the box got wet, but the figure was in great shape. So I mean, when you get figures and you see that the person took extra steps to protect it, give them a thank you, and then maybe they'll continue to do that if they see
Say,
that
hey, I
they're
appreciate the way this
appreciated.
was packed. And that happened to me also with the Mr. Rogers. I did the last showcase video I did with the Mr. Rogers musical trolley for my deal. It's not in the unboxing video because it was raining and it was left out, and it was raining so hard. The box was so saturated. When I picked it up, I actually literally just ripped it open with my fingers because the box was saturated and falling apart. And I wanted to get it out of there as quickly as possible, and it was just beginning to get damp, even though it was wrapped up in bubble wrap and all sorts of stuff inside that box. The box was so soaked. It was like, oh my God, you could see it starting to like flatten down, and it was bowing out on the sides. It was so wet, and I was like, oh no, because I knew what it was. I would have had a heart attack if that box had soaked all the way through like that.
Average gamer say Charlie Flat is the king of customs Meagle type figures. Now, the one thing about people that are custom, I've contacted about 2 of them and asked them, hey, can you do this? Because they advertise themselves, they put themselves out there that they'll do custom work for you. But then they were like, oh no, I can only do
we
this
have tried
and that.
We've tried a couple of times and they always blow you off.
Yeah, they either blow you off. And we had one other guy that that responded, but it was like, no, I would only do this, I'm not going to do that. And I'm like, well, can you create me a custom box? Well, no, because I don't have the insert. And I'm like, I don't want the insert, I want the box.
Every time you tried to renegotiate with him, he came up with another excuse not to do it. It's so like, okay, just say you don't want to do it.
Yeah, so it was like, forget it. And then somebody else on eBay was selling custom boxes and they had no problem. You just say what you wanted. And I'm, oh, okay, and gave you a price and you moved on. Gilgamesh, I've had people bend flaps, crush the boxes and ship in the point of buying new in a box to have the figure in the box. They don't care. Yeah, they really don't.
No. And that's the difference between somebody who is a reseller and someone who's a collector seller. Because somebody who collects or buys out lots so they can cherry pick and then they sell off the rest, they know how that feels, so they don't want to mess people up.
Yeah.
But a lot of these people that are selling, and I've seen this more and more, it's getting worse over the last few years, in the last decade. It's not a recent thing. There's more people that they only sell. They do not care about that stuff. They don't care about you. They just know it's worth something and they want to make a few bucks, and they'll skimp everywhere that they can.
Logan's Run. Do you realize all of us will be goners? We're all past 30. Yeah, because they killed everybody at 30.
Yeah, the crystal lit up. Oh, Johnny Future's gotta go.
You gotta go. Bye. Peace. Has LPH picked up the Goonies pop yet? Goonies.
I don't think she ever saw it.
No, I'm not a. I think somebody asked me that earlier. I never watched the Goonies. No. I'm not a fan of the Goonies.
I've seen it and it's okay. It's like, again, iconic 80s film, not the best 80s film in my opinion. If I was going to pick 80s genre films, I could think of ones that I would prefer. Not trying to pick on the Goonies, but it's not on the top of my list,
Yeah, I never saw the film, so I'm not into it. I think I saw it, but it's like, no, it's just something that I passed on. Gil Edwards, so true. People complain when things aren't right, but more need to give praise when things are done really well. And I try to do that with all, especially on eBay, when I buy something and the person takes extra steps in that packing, because you know it's they do a good job and they take that extra step, and it means a lot to you.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, good.
It's a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
You again, you invested not just your money, but time, effort, looking for it, all
Yeah.
the energy. There's emotion involved in it. If it's something that has a connection for you, you don't want it to arrive wrecked.
Yeah. Jughead says I'm 23 because I said that.
23? I thought you were 19.
Oh wow, now I'm 19. I'm getting younger and younger on every
You're
episode.
young to me.
No, I'm 44 years old.
Oh my God.
I know. Sometimes I forget my age. Never seen Goonies. I did like the Lost Boys. Yeah, we saw the Lost Boys recently. We saw the Lost
Boys.
Boys.
It was goofy, but it was...
I didn't realize it was going to be a vampire flick for some odd reason. No, when every time I saw the name, and you see the, like, I guess the poster of it or the picture of it, and it's always that picture, it says Lost Boys, and then they got Kiefer Sutherland. I always think it's similar to Outsiders. You remember Outsiders, where it had with all of the everybody, that was like their first ever movie, and it was about those boys of gangs and all of that. I thought it was a movie like that. I didn't think it was a vampire movie, but we saw it a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And it was all right.
Yeah, it was.
It was all right.
Stone Sour says, what are some of your favorite movies?
Oh my God.
That'd be
a long list, because I've seen like probably tens of thousands of films, and no exaggeration.
He's seen a lot.
Films from the silent era all the way to modern and foreign films and stuff like that. I mean, it depends. There's different genres.
I don't like silent films.
Yeah, there's some good ones. There's a handful of good ones out there. Like Foolish Wives is good for a silent film, and then of course Metropolis.
I have Metropolis. Metropolis is on Amazon Prime, and I have it saved to watch.
I have it on disc.
Yeah.
And the original Nosferatu is a silent film, and then the 70s Nosferatu is still very true to the story.
I like The Birds.
What, Stephen King's The Bird?
No, that was Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh yeah, Alfred Hitchcock, of course.
I think I've seen
that movie's goofy.
I know it is, especially The Birds. I've seen a lot of Alfred Hitchcock movies, and I think every one of them I've liked. Every one of them, I think, that I can remember, I've liked. I've liked those. I like almost anything with Cary Grant. I think Cary Grant is just handsome. He looks good.
Yeah.
I think he was a very good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's funny. He's been in some serious films, but he still has that little underlying comedy in there.
Yeah.
I like things with Clint Eastwood.
I love a lot of the 70s spaghetti westerns, in which Clint Eastwood did a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Fistful of Dollars, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Strangers on a Train was good.
Yeah.
I like that.
How the West Was Won. Or no, not How the West Was Won was what was a movie, and then it was a TV show. But what's the other one? Once Upon a Time in the West is classic. That's a really good one. There's some really good 70s westerns.
And another one
depends on the genre.
I like a lot of B films, because we watch a lot of B.
They are funny.
And it's a YouTube site, Newcastle After Dark.
So some B horror films.
Yeah, they show a lot of B horror films, stuff that you probably never heard of.
And they kind of host it.
Yeah.
So they go, this is what we're going to watch today. It was done by so and so. And
they give you some facts
some
at the beginning, and in the middle of it, they'll come and talk about it a little bit, and then they come back at the end and they talk about it a little more. They're pretty good. I love Disaster.
She is. Especially like those made-for-TV ones.
Those made-for-TV disaster
They are
films.
funny, though. I'll give you that. They are fun to watch. You sit there and pick on them.
Yeah, especially the ones that came out in the 2000s.
What was that last one with the earthquake? What was the name of it?
Oh, now that one came out in the 70s. It was called Earthquake.
Yeah.
And it had, what was that guy? Charlton Heston.
Charlton Heston was in it. Here's the bit. The earthquake scene was like 10 minutes long. It did not stop. And this is the 70s. They did not use models. They built buildings and wrecked them. You were watching real buildings falling apart and real cars blowing up and real streets splitting for like 10 solid minutes. And it's like, holy crap, how much did this cost?
Yeah.
And you know what? If I could throw one out there before I forget it, Lone Wolf and Cub. I love the Lone Wolf and Cub series. Some of you know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, B films are good. The horror ones and just the regular ones are pretty good to see. And then in the 80s, because I've seen a few of them, they had these they made it look like a news report, and it was a disaster, like aliens or terrorists, because they had like 4 of them. And it looked like a news report, and that's how they presented it, like a news broadcaster, and the guy's sitting there, and he's going back to the different journalists all over the place.
Kind of like the original War of the Worlds was portrayed by Orson Welles, where you're watching the news, and then suddenly something goes wrong, and they're like, oh, can we cut to that? And it feels like, if you didn't know any better, like you were watching a news broadcast that was interrupted.
Yeah, it does.
That was actually rather interesting.
Because at the very beginning, they start off by watching a movie.
Yeah.
And then they cut in the middle, and then they go on, oh, this just happened.
Ghost Junk is here.
Hey, Ghost Junk.
How you doing?
They cut in with this news broadcast and telling you that something just happened somewhere, and then they'll show you like blips of commercials, and then they'll come back and all of this. Raccoon Eye said Towering Inferno was good. We actually saw Towering Inferno.
We saw that one.
Yeah.
Can you get off the top floor? Can you?
That one was good, and it had the guy that played Cool Hand Luke. That was a good movie. That's right. Cool Hand Luke was a good movie. I liked that movie. I didn't like when he was digging that pit, but that was a good movie.
Yeah, it made a great point, though. And Robert
Wicker Man, we saw that. We saw both. Well,
the original one we couldn't sit through. It was a musical.
Well, I don't know. They had that big orgy scene in the middle.
It was weird. It was too weird.
And then it got crazy. But we did see the one with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, we did.
And we saw that one first. And then we found the original.
And there's Monster Diesel.
Hey, Monster Diesel. And Ghost Junk. I said hey to you. Yeah, we did see both of those. And it was like, oh, okay. Are you familiar with Bud Spencer and Terrence Howard Italian Western slack comedy? No.
No, not comedy, no. And Robert said Lone Wolf and Cub confuse me. Yeah, honestly, with that kind of stuff, you have to have a little bit of insight into Japanese culture because of the way that their minds work. It's they don't have Western world rational logical thought. That's how we're brought up. And in their reality, it's an analogical thought, if you understand the philosophies. So they have a different way of viewing things and thinking about things. And if you understand the cultural aspects of the Japanese culture, the movie makes more sense. But I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them. And you know what? One that I like the miniseries. She didn't like it though. Shogun. If you watch the miniseries Shogun, they actually explain some of those cultural differences. But it's an interesting miniseries. They don't do good miniseries anymore.
No,
they don't.
Master Mexico, do you know about the 70s Christopher Lee vampire movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we saw one. That website, not website, but that YouTube page, Newcastle After Dark showed one, and we just saw one recently. It wasn't a vampire; he was a werewolf, wasn't he? No.
No.
What happened in the film? When his daughter became, he gave the daughter the blood transfusion, and she turned into some kind of.
Oh, that was Peter Cushing.
Oh, that was Peter Cushing.
That was Peter Cushing, and Christopher Lee was playing his older brother.
Mm-hmm.
And Christopher Lee was the warden of the insane asylum.
Yeah.
And he had found a skeleton, and the skeleton, he was an archaeologist.
Mm-hmm.
The skeleton was humanoid, but didn't conform with anything. It was, I think, what was it? The creeping flesh? Was that it?
I think that was the name of it.
And
yeah, raccoon eyes, the creeping flesh.
The creeping flesh. And if water dripped on any part of the skeleton, flesh would start to grow on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was experimenting with it and screwed his daughter up.
Yeah, because he gave her a shot and then she got crazy.
That movie was
fun. It was. Gil Edwards, I noticed that most 70s movies get ignored in retrospect for some reason. It does.
They get ignored because their plots are getting ripped off. And if you don't know where your modern plot comes from, then you don't realize. Because as many films as I've seen, and she catches me doing it all the time, especially for watching a new movie. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're doing just like so-and-so did. And she was like, which one? Because I've seen the plot before, or I've seen the circumstance before, maybe a couple of times in older films already. Mm-hmm. They rehash stuff and then act like it's new.
Yeah, they'll rehash a lot of Twilight Zones, a lot of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. You watch a lot of it and you can see where the influence came from. So.
Oh, Jughead recognizes Newcastle.
Yeah, that's a good channel. And they put out a movie once a month. And then in October, they'll put out one once a week for Halloween.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. They're fun to watch. And again, it's obscure horror films that they show. And we like those. And we also like kung fu movies, like from the 70s.
Yeah.
The cheesy
we
kung
get a kick
fu
out of
movies
those.
where they do these like flying scenes and these crazy flips.
And they jump and you hear pigeons. You hear wings flapping.
Or they'll flip and then get on the top of a 50-foot tree. And all of them got this super mole with a hair coming out of it.
Oh, that's the bad guy. The bad guy's lackey always has a big mole with like long hair growing out there.
Gilgamesh, MST got me into a lot of cheesy old films. Yeah, it did with me too. And you know, Riff Track is also a spin-off of MST 3K.
That's right.
And
they had a bunch of spin-offs from MST3K.
But they did Sharknado. They did Sharknado 1 and 2. That's the only way I can watch Sharknado is through them. And I kind of wish they'd do the rest because Sharknado had like 7 movies. And I wish they would do the rest of them because
Sharknado is like the modern version of The Love Boat, because The Love Boat was a dumping ground for washed up actors.
Yeah, I love Final Wars next to Godzilla.
Here's a good one for you. You know, in the Christopher Lee vampire films, Peter Cushing played Van Helsing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He also was Van Helsing in oh God, what's the name of that film? Is it Seven Deadly Vampires? It's the kung fu film, right? Or seven golden vampires.
The Devil Rides Out.
7 golden vampires.
We saw that on Newcastle.
Yeah, it's a kung fu vampire movie from like Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But Peter Cushing revises his Van Helsing role for it. So he's like one of 2 Caucasian people in the film, and the rest of them are like kung fu vampires jumping around with swords and nunchucks and stuff. That's hilarious.
Master. I think we probably saw the crippled master. Amputated guys. No, maybe not, because we saw
the guy missing the arms.
No, we saw one where the guy had no arms and the other one couldn't see or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's right. He
But
was
that
blind.
wasn't the cripple master.
I think I don't know if you saw it. I think the one they're talking about is the one where he has no arms and the other guy's got no legs.
You told
And
me about that one.
He has like a basket he wears on his back,
Cripple master.
so that the other guy can punch while he's kicking.
Check out Creature Feature YouTube channel. Okay, Creature Feature.
I used to watch Creature Double Feature on WLVI TV 56 when I was a kid.
You remember all that.
In the 80s, at WLVI TV 56 UHF station, Creature Double Feature every Saturday starting at noon after the cartoons went off on the regular networks. And then you could watch Godzilla and Gamera and all that cool stuff.
Are y'all Abbott and Costello fans? No, not me.
I like Abbott and Costello. I like Abbott and Costello. I like a lot of those old comedy groups, like the Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, the Three Stooges. I'm a fan of the old Three Stooges, of Shemp's independent stuff, because he did comedies with the same studios as himself without the Three Stooges. Or I don't know if he went up by the name of Shemp, but he sure as hell acted like Shemp.
I don't like the Three Stooges.
I do.
I don't like that type of comedy.
You need to stay over there.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I don't like that kind of comedy. I'm not big on comedy too much. I don't like too much. You know, some of it I like. A lot of it I don't. I like less than.
You know, it's a good Abbott and Costello film is the one where they went to Africa, and in the beginning scene, Costello is dressed in the safari outfit, and he's got the whip, and he's acting all fierce and stuff. And it turns out it's like a kitten sitting on a log, and then it meows at him, and he freaks out.
Kung Pao enters the fist. Okay, go ahead.
I've seen that. The lion, the safari person that was in the film when they went to Africa was an actual like famous big game hunter who went around capturing lions and taming lions and stuff. So they found a real person for that part in that film.
Remember Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs? It was the TNT channel. It was in the 90s and hosted.
Yeah, that does sound familiar.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah.
No. You know who? William Shatner had a show like that where he hosted horror films because it's on Tubi, and I've seen it looking through for other things. I think the name of it is the William Shatner or something or another, but he has one. A Chinese Ghost Story is a good kung fu horror film. Chinese Ghost Story. Read the rest of that.
Yeah. Creature Feature channel is the new version of the old one. Okay.
Chinese Ghost Story. I would watch Creature. Okay, Feature.
I guess you could pick up that station.
Yeah. Chinese Ghost Story.
Yeah, Brandon, remember, he's talking about Abbott and Costello meets Dracula. Yeah. They've been forgotten about too. They're fading away.
They stopped making Godzilla films like 10 years ago.
In the 70s because of Japan's economy, possibly. But anyways, it is getting late, folks.
9:16. We've been going.
We've been on for over 3 hours. So we'll probably start winding up.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Gilgamesh, you seen any Ip Man movies? Yeah, we've seen all of them. Yeah. I like in the second one where he went to the new town and he had to fight all the masters. And
at the table.
Yeah. And they did that fight scene on the table. I think that was the best fight scene. I love that, and I'll go back on YouTube just to see that scene again because that was an impressive scene. I like it when you have it and it's okay. It's like two different types of, to me. It's like two different kinds of kung fu. You have the one where it's all choppy and you can see the counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the other one is just like it flows like real fast and it looks seamless. And in Ip Man, that's how the fight scenes were. But you'll see some movies and it looks choreographed. Full Moon Fright Night with William Shatner. Yeah, William Shatner on Tubi. Exactly.
Yeah,
he had
when
one.
they're not that good and they can't flow.
Yeah.
And they have to.
Yeah, and it looks, and you can tell they're counting, and you can count each step. And even though it might not be a bad choreography and bad sequence, it's just that it's so choppy. And once you see the fight scenes where it all just kind of flows,
Yeah,
it
and I can't
looks
think of it.
funny.
There's one film with Jackie Chan, and he's
Hmm.
fighting this. I think it's a Hispanic guy.
We saw that movie.
He's from Spain,
Hmm.
and he
Hey, Marissa, sorry. Marcus. Sorry, Marcus. I said
yeah,
Marissa.
Marcus
Marcus
Franco.
Franco. Hi.
He
Oh, my
he's
mama.
fighting.
Hey, my mom's on. Everybody say hey to my mom. She figured out how to get on and how to chat. Oh my god. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
He's fighting it's a fighter from Spain, and the guy was so fast. Jackie was having trouble keeping up with it, and he's like, "Screw the choreography, we'll just spar." I can't remember the name of the film.
We saw it. I don't.
He has the suspenders, and
he's
he's like, snap, snap.
Yeah.
And the two of them were so quick. That's the only way they could do it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, we'll just go. And if I get hit, I get hit. It's okay." And I guess they both got popped a couple of times. But that scene was only partially choreographed when they were fighting across that table and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, that is great." But when you see something seamless like that, and then you compare it to the one that's go, "Oh," it just doesn't feel right anymore.
Yeah, yeah. But I love kung fu films. I always liked it ever since I was a kid. And then I used to watch it a lot. And then I got away with it. And more recently, got away from it. Sorry, got away from it. And then more recently, me and David started watching it again because it's like a lot of them on YouTube and it's a lot of them on Tubi.
Plus, I have some on disc too.
Yeah, and I got a lot of Jackie Chan. Anytime I see a Jackie Chan film, I'll buy it. Now,
except for the tuxedo.
Yeah, I started watching that one, and that one was just awful.
Yeah,
that was awful. But I like Jackie Chan. I've seen a few Jet Li's, not too many, and I like Tony Jaa. But he started doing more action
Tony
stuff.
Jaa was really good when he was going full swing.
Yeah, but then he kind of moved away to more action film, and he got away from kung fu and moved closer to action. Because we watched one with him, but he was a cop, and they were looking for people in some girls, what you call them, that were sex trafficking and all of that.
Yeah, and it's like, where's the fights, man?
Yeah.
I mean, like 2 movies earlier, you're like jumping through hoops and stuff. You remember the guy, the ring of barbed wire. It was only like that wide, and he dove through it, and he really did his stunts. My Little Chickadee. Yeah, that's a W.C. Fields film. W.C. Fields was good.
Well, you definitely need to watch the
Drunken
following.
Master.
Yeah, we saw Drunken Master. Both of them
were good.
Yeah, we saw both Drunken Master.
Yeah, The Protector. That's the one with.
That's the one with the elephant.
That's the one with the elephant.
But it was 2. Protector
there were 2. Police Story. Oh, Wheels on Meals. I think that's the one that I'm talking about, where he was fighting the Spanish guy, and he was so fast they had to throw the choreography out. That's Meals on Wheels.
Yeah, we saw Rush Hour. Rush Hour wasn't really a kung fu.
Ong Bak was good.
Yeah, we saw Ong Bak.
That's Tony Jaa.
Yeah.
And then Police Story, of course.
Yeah, I'm trying to collect all of them. I have one Police Story, but I want to collect all first before I watch it, because I want to watch it in order in case it's something that ties in. Some movies tie in, some don't, but
yeah,
I want to see that. Let me see. Super solid. Well, yeah, but I also like the one with cowboy. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The cowboys, and it had, I can't remember the name of it. Shanghai Surprise. Yeah, Shanghai Nights.
Yeah.
Great live stream. Thanks for answering and responding to comments. You guys always have entertaining opinions, so thanks. Have a great night.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh yeah.
No problem.
My dad. My mom and dad got on, and they know how to do the chat. Raid and Raid 2. Okay.
Brandon Knight has to go.
Okay, yeah, we're about to start wrapping it up too.
We probably should wrap it up.
Yeah,
but no, we do appreciate you all, seriously.
Yeah,
we like sharing with the community, talking to people, and getting to know you a little better and everything.
Yeah, so thank you all for getting on and chatting with us and spending time with us. Thank you for giving shout outs to my parents, my mom and dad. They figured out how to say hello. I don't know if they know how to say anything else. And it probably took the whole 2 hours to do that.
Oh no.
But I'm glad that they're here. Chinese or Japanese comedy kung fu are so funny.
Yeah, they're real slapstick and goofy.
Yeah, great show. But yeah, thank you all. I hope y'all have a good week.
Yeah.
A good week at work. Not too much stress.
Yeah. Life's stressful enough.
I know. But again, guys, thank you all for joining us. Good night. Bye, Jughead, Mexico, Robert, Raccoon Eyes.
And everyone else. We'll see you again soon.